MCG and the magnificent sporting precinct in Melbourne just looks a picture tonight as it comes alive for round one, Richmond and Carlton. The players going through their final warm-ups. We've got a minute 40 until the opening bounce. Dermot Brewer, I want to ask you, when you used to walk out wearing that famous number 23 for the Hawthorn Football Club in round one, what was it like for you? Did you have that intent? There's summer, all the hard work has been done, now it's ready to go.
It's funny because the first few minutes is full of expression, and you actually, it's like you've just sprinted 100 metres several times over. You run out of breath, you run out of thoughts, you're just completely stuffed after the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Jonathan Brown, both these captains have got plenty to prove. What's it like to be the captain out there under the hammer?
Yeah, that's right. You just got to fight your way through it. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but can you survive the pressure? Lee Matthews used to say that all the time. You've just got to push yourself through that and hopefully get the kicks early.
All right, Trent Cotchin wins the toss. Will be kicking to the city end.
First thought's the best thought in the first quarter. Get hold of it, move it quickly, get it onto someone else, help someone else, get a body on body. And that's the only thing you really need to do. And just sort of see if you can work a way through to help someone else in your team.
The Blues seemingly have no pressure tonight. They're out there, they can express themselves, they can have a go. New coach has got plenty of time to build this side up. There are little expectations. But for Richmond, if they were to fall over in round one against Carlton tonight,
well, that's
fantastic, Ed.
It'd be disastrous for Richmond. Now, we know it's always exaggerated results from round one, but you want to start the year off with a lot of confidence, and we know early season form pretty much sets you up for a spot in September, so this is an important game.
If I was to write one word on the wall of Richmond's change room before this game, it'd be clinical. Just be clinical.
Hey Ed, I think the Tigers will win, but we're looking forward to seeing Blues improve. That's more important for the Carlton supporters, with the young guys coming through.
Who wins, Jono?
Richmond will win by about 30 points.
Dermot?
4 goals, Richmond.
And Mark, you reckon Richmond, but how far?
I think about 25 before the game. It's a nice clear night. The ball should move well. There's no clouds, there's no dew. It's just a perfect night for footy.
New look Carlton coaching box. We're ready to go.
We go, we'll find out.
Thursday night football. Down goes Kerridge. Cruiser won the first tap. This is Gibbs towards half forward. Graham gets on the end of it. So Carlton immediately on the move. Probing kick inside the forward 50. Casbolt in front. Asprey knocked away. This is Wright in the right full forward pocket. And he misses. Minor score. Tigers haven't touched the footy.
Ex-Crow. One of the 15 that have come to the club. One way or another. A couple of free agents. 5 traded. The draft pick, including the number 1, Wiedering out there tonight. And as Dennis said, 4 number 1s playing tonight. In Graham, so a couple of early touches. Good tackle from Lambert. Sort of whipped it off him. That's a strong tackle from Cruiser. And he's rewarded.
Well, there wasn't too much prior opportunity there, was there, for the Richmond skipper?
Thanks, Trent.
Didn't have a lot of time at all.
Thank you, Trent. Give it back now.
So it's Gibbs that gets it. And then kicks to full forward. Hampson's got back, the former Blue, at the back right again, so he's been busy. Caught up though, strong tackle coming from Rioli.
Straight up. Watch the heads. Watch the heads. Coming out behind.
Umpires tonight, Stevic, Clear and Mitchell. Hampson. Down to Ellis. Brandon Ellis kicks it out of there, not very far though. Kerridge, fine pre-season. Murphy, no pre-season, to the pocket. Low course still going, well played a couple of times. Boot to ball, not quite. Rolls away from him. Rolling in there is Lamb, he's tackled immediately. And we'll get a ball up, I think. Dangerous territory this.
It's a hot ball early. Great work by Cruiser and Gibbs there on Trent Cotchin. Last time he was out on the MCG, didn't have a great day. They need to get inside his head early, make sure he has a tough night.
McIntosh played them all last year as a first year, so Martin gets it outside the 50.
Play on.
Good mark by Doherty. They come back, the Blues, to reset. That's what this season's all about, isn't it, in the future? So Simpson from half-back, straight to full forward. It was a probing kick, but Asprey was the only one that really went and took the mark against Casbolt.
Take him out, Dustin.
Had a good pre-season too. Oft injured. Only 4 games from memory last season. Kicks it short of the wing. Revolt was in front. Jamison pumped it away, and that's got to be a free. Irish whip into the cross buckle. Can't do that. Walker, anything but, runs on, sends it down towards full forward, setting himself in front, Rance, falls to Ellis. Ellis got it away to Hooley. Hooley back to Grimes. Awkward one, bounce back over his head. Almost a chance for redemption there for Walker. He enjoyed that tackle. Still working on it too, just the finishing touches. Meantime, Murphy bursts away, goes towards half forward. Oh, nice. Levi levitates. Takes the mark about 35 metres out.
He's such a big target. They've gone for Levi 2 or 3 times already. They don't mind kicking the ball in long on that occasion. Just got a little bit of space between him and his opponent to take an uncontested mark. But they're not scared to kick the ball long and direct inside their forward 50, the Blues.
Casbolt. He can kick straight and kick along. What a man up forward he could be. Well, still a bit of work. A work in progress. It's just slipped through for a behind, but it was a long kick.
Those kicks that you're talking about, Ducko, they have been bombing them in a little bit. I like it, though. Get it inside forward 50 as quickly as they can. It took Mark Murphy's class to just be able to lower the eyes a bit, hit up Casbolt then.
So it was Rance to Martin and then Martin to centre wing. And Simpson pushed as he kicked and it's out on the full. So Martin to bring it back in.
Already we can see Carlton's defensive pressure across the ground. They're very well organised here at ground level. You can really see what they're trying to do early.
So Grimes, just the short one.
50 metres. That's one of the new rules.
Inside the 10-metre protected area.
He went on the angle rather than from east to west, so he's got to go directly across the ground. He cribbed slightly, and you can see here, just slightly goes on that angle, and the umpire's pinged him.
They're going to have to pick up on that one quick, aren't they, Doug? Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of 50s and a lot of frustrated coaches.
I think he was confused by the Great Southern Stand.
So it's not another goal kicker, just a couple in his career. Can he get the trip here, or does he just set it up, Grimes? Is he going to go for it? He is, and he won't add to those couple. One of the 2 last year, so
Thanks, Jack. That's fine there.
no damage done for the Blues.
Straight across here.
Crowd building, perfect night for footy in Melbourne. And this traditional clash between these 2 big Melbourne clubs.
Best and fairest All-Australian. Alex Rance pinpoints it. Lambert charging up the ground, takes the mark. Did he go off? That's got to be 50 then. Whoa. How does that work, Duck? Well, it is 50. That's okay.
That's 50 every day of the week. That was 50 last year. Gibbs comes in.
He was trying.
The player.
Gibbs was trying to get to Martin. He's trying to sell the umpire now. I'm trying to get to Martin, who was looking for the handball.
What did Lambert have to do with it then? I thought for a moment it wasn't going to be 50. You hear the umpire sounding off. There goes the Lambert kick, and he puts it through. Tigers lead. Well done by Lambert, coming off a very good season. The longer it went, the better he got. And that's a question mark over them, their midfield. Of course, Deledio not playing tonight. And if you think back to last year, at the opening bounce, he got reported.
Well, no rule changes needed for this one. That is just 50 metres. That was last year. That was 100 years ago. Don't know what Bryce Gibbs was thinking.
So he gets the first assist this year, Gibbs in the goal. So Lambert, the goal scorer. Carlton had started pretty well here. Remember last year they had the good lead against the Tigers. Into that second term. Phillips, Hampson wins it clearly. Miles, such a good clearance player, not this time. Quick kick forward, coming from Kerridge, the former Crows. Had a really good pre-season. Graham just the fumble. Walker. Doherty. It's a bit of a hot handball. Then Doherty may get the free for holding. No. Well done by Cripps. Back to Walker, and then Walker looking for Gibbs. Rance was fantastic. Left his man and took the intercepting mark.
That's why he's All-Australian. That's why he's the champion that he is. He doesn't just spoil, he doesn't just negate his opponent, but he does that very well. He marks the footy and sets up attacking options.
Martin to midfield. Grimes. Alex was once Murray's son as the ball comes down towards half forward. Getting high was Revolt. The hand pass was quick. Ellis, Corey Ellis gets a second chance after some hard work in there from Lloyd. Now it's with Hooley. Goes long down towards the pocket. Rowe knocked away down there, but Rowe will get a free kick connected around the shoulder and head. So Rowe wasting no time is away.
It's one of his strengths, Dennis. He's a really good one-on-one player, Rowe. Simpson able to work it wide. They've done all right.
Yours.
Kerridge. Neat kick to Phillips. These new guys for the Blues. Now, how quickly can he get it on, and how long will he go? Everett's short for him if he wants him.
Casbolt long.
So Casbolt is the target. Worked his way into a pretty good spot. Wide, Gibbs hooking back, gets it to the top of the goal square. Bockhurst, well done though.
Oh, well
getting away from Ellis. It was Cripps. Townsend down low.
Richmond!
So Miles' hands are good. And the Tigers get the advantage. It was a scrappy old kick to centre wing.
Came from Rioli. Looking forward to watch him develop. There's Cochin, got it from Lambert, goes short to Edwards, man on over the top. Griffiths running to space, can move inside the 50 and slot it long. And the longest man is Menadue. Menadue, don't do that.
Well, I'm not sure you want to pass it from there, Den. Top of the square.
Selfless.
That's the one where you do the pretend look, isn't it, Duck? Try and get to you, but... Oh, sorry, no, I'll go back and have my shot.
That was great fat side run from the manager. He's got really good endurance, and he made a long run from the middle of the ground to get on the end of that.
Should kick it. Not 20 metres out. Tigers have their second. They lead by 10.
Just his second season. It's a good build-up by the Tigers. So they've been able to find some targets inside their forward 50.
Well, this is what Richo was talking about, the transition of the footy down one side of the ground. Connor Menadue, hard work on the other side of the ground to get on the end of that. That's just elite running, as Richo mentioned, an elite aerobic athlete. Going to be important for the Tigers this year.
Miles, Martin, good hands by Martin. Griffiths, such a long kick if he wants to. Gets it to about 20 metres. Rowe really set himself, couldn't take the mark. Revolt, clever looking kick, doesn't quite get the bounce. Ball still in play, still in play. McIntosh had it smothered. Well done, Curnow belts it away outside the defensive 50. One-on-one important hit. Grimes wants the line, and a couple of Carlton players clean one another up in a boundary throw-in.
Cool. Thank you. Keep your cool. Okay.
Lamb there.
Carlton free kick. Not on. Not on. Take the free kick. Take it. Not on. Not on.
So Lamb from half-back.
Move it on.
Would have been together at GWS. Lamb from right half-back. Out of the wing. Rance. Well, he used the body. He's been penalised for that, I think. Used his chest on the man in front. Sometimes you get away with that.
David!
So Casbolt on the wing. 9 Carlton players haven't had a possession yet. There's Kerridge, only 3 for Richmond. Kerridge looking inside a forward line that's pretty crowded. Former Crow, former Indigo Pioneer, kicks it down towards the pocket. Off hands towards the boundary. Griffiths. Phillips on top, and the ball rolls out of bounds.
He's got a good leg, hasn't he, Kerridge? I mean, that was effortless. Kicked it about 55 metres. This was the 2 ex-GWS boys. Of course, Lamb from Sydney as well before that. And the free. So Carlton forward 50. Martin had a lot of the ball. Most of it in the back half, though, so far tonight, and that one will come back.
Yep. I'm narrow. Hold. I'm narrow. Hold there.
Such a weapon, isn't he? Now Murphy will probably set it up, and he does to full forward. Always thinking a Cruiser or a Casbolt. Aspie to bang it away. Not a great kick. Murphy on the end of it, goes short to the pocket. And Wright protected it.
2 metres, please.
And that's the one where they're lowering their eyes, Lingy. They have to use that one. They can't always bomb it. If they always bomb it, then it'll come out just as quick. But I like the fact that they're moving the ball quickly, getting it in there long, they're getting a contest, and now they're being able to hold it in and get a second opportunity at a shot at goal.
Originally from Walkerville in South Australia. It's been a famous footy club over the years in the amateurs, and then with North Adelaide. Tucked away in the pocket, good looking kick, just fading at the end. So Wright's had a couple of shots on goal, and the Blues still without a major.
Well, and that's been the worry, hasn't it, Bruce? 9-5 of the inside 50. So Carlton actually dominating the ball inside their forward 50, inside their forward half of the ground. Just can't get that goal. Can't get any real fluent attacking movement going once they do get their hands on the footy.
Hooley to the outer side, clears the pack. Curnow first back, lacking support. Jamison back to a hot Curnow, on his knees right. Curnow, third attempt, off the fingertips of McIntosh, and it goes out.
And Lingy, your point there, in two of their NAB Cup games, the game against Hawthorn in Launceston, the first one, and the Sydney game, they actually won the time in forward half, so they've been able to press up and hold it in. It's just getting the score on the board.
Cruiser, clever. Kerridge, high ball, centering ball. Grimes almost, Phillips behind. Tui under pressure, clever kick. That's why he was third and the best and fairest last season. Tui.
Thanks, Basher.
That was a beauty. Squeezing it through. Into Bolton, liking that one.
That is a clever kick. Good call, Dennis. Great vision, great execution. I've liked what Phillips has done so far too, getting around the ground, competed in the air. Also good on the deck there, giving the hands off to Zach Tui.
So Lamb. There's the rundown. Almost getting close to a goal again. So he knows how to kick one. And this one is okay. His first as a Blue. All about the kick from Tui. Playing game number 99. Pushing up. He's grown in confidence. He was a little hit or miss for the first 50 games or so, but given his background, that was understandable. There hasn't probably been an Irish player who's kicked the ball any better than Tui. In fact, a lot of Australians and other players from all over the world defer to him close to goal.
Time you jump and the footy.
So a reward for effort for the Blues here.
Yeah, they needed that one. Been getting the ball in, as Ling and Rich have been saying, inside that forward 50. You have to get reward for getting the ball in there.
So Lamb, the scorer. Cripps, well done. Rode it well. Flashing tackle off the back on Murphy.
Stand up, let it go, let it go. Let it go
Lloyd.
this way.
And from nowhere.
Good tackle, shoulders out.
And if, of course, had some surgery. Missed the last couple of games last year.
Richmond! McIntosh. Richmond, let it go. Richmond free. It's a free kick. Made by the out of zone free. Hold. Hold. Stay there, Paddy. Play on.
So McIntosh just spreads it
Play on.
to Vlaston. Gets it wider to Morris, and then Morris decides to go long to the pocket. Hard one for Vickery to get back and behind.
Clear the square. Thanks, Ty.
Vickery, big off-season, of course, got married. And then the UFO incident over in Perth. All good.
Up in front, Phillips, off hands, falls to Graham. Taken down very strongly by Lambert. Got the opening goal for the Tigers. And Lamb getting the opening goal for Carlton. Make of it what you will. Knocked down by Griffiths. Kerridge. The ball's out of bounds. Kerridge has started well, 5 possessions. Cam?
He's been very good, Sam Kerridge. Just watching Trent Cotchin there, the Richmond skipper. We've spoken a lot about his last game here at the MCG. Only the one disposal so far, so struggling to have an impact on this game early on. I just wonder if he's thinking a bit too much about how much of the footy he's got to find, rather than just doing the simple things well. He's given away a free kick there to Mark Murphy at the moment. Murphy having the better of the duel of the captains.
So it takes Cotchin on Murphy. Dockley, they've run themselves into a bit of a problem. Okay, now Graham, Lamb. Good hands from Wright. Clever by Land. Does it sit? Well done, Blostone. Had it a little while, but given some leniency, and why not? Good play by Murphy. Sort of whipped it off Martin. Martin able to get it back to Minanju. Already with a goal. Gets it to Vickery. It was a good kick, and the big fella timed it perfectly.
Going to be a 50.
50 metres. Tight. 50. Tight. Your ball. 50 metres to 50 metres.
Just behind the play to Jack.
Just let us control it, mate. All right. 50.
Well, this would be annoying for the coaching staff, wouldn't it? I mean, two 50-metre penalties. Gibbs was sort of weird, and this one careless.
Stay out.
And Vickery gets his first, and the Tigers get their third.
50-metre penalty. There's a free kick there, mate. There's a free kick less than 50. So the free kick gets advanced 50 metres. You stay in through.
Just the explanation there.
Vickery had the mark, but just watch the top of your screen. This is why the 50-metre penalty. There it is, right there. Sam Rowe's arm on Jack Riewoldt. We've got our super spy cam out tonight, so we're watching for little incidents like that one, but that's a clear 50-metre penalty.
Not such a good bounce. The umpire will do it again. Still, only the first game. Ground looks a picture. On the way down, Hampson. Kerridge finding a lot of it. Missed it that time though. Miles in the opposite direction. Simpson floats one up towards the wing, and Corey Ellis takes a very good mark. He's a left footer. Man on the mark tested there. He went north-south or whatever it's supposed to be. Here's White. And passes back to Doherty. Doherty across the ground of the pocket. Just almost reached the man. Didn't quite. Inadvertently struck him as Curnow was that man. He comes away, gave it to Cripps. Now running is Gibbs. Gibbs goes towards the outer side. Bokhorst measures the kick and does it beautifully. You can see him scanning up ahead there, and Walker has this football. He decides to go back to Gibbs. He was involved moments ago across half back.
If they can move it like that, Duck, they'll score.
Well, that's the key, wasn't it? Hitting their target, speed of ball movement. Really caught Richmond behind the 8 ball. They're able to get in behind their defenders. So Walker had all of that space to run back into inside forward 50.
So Bryce Gibbs, just the 10 games last season. On the best and fairest the season before. Side down by 10 points. Rance, as he always does, working hard on the mark. To no effect this time. Lovely kick. That was slick around the outer side. They moved it quickly. And you get the feeling, and we'll get Lingy's take on this in just a moment, but they are prepared to take some risks. They're tossing the ball around. We saw evidence of that just about 3 or 4 minutes ago in the centre square when they virtually played on out of nothing. And they were tossing it around at close quarters, and one errant kick coming out the other side actually brought them undone, but they were trying something.
You're right, Dennis. It's exciting footy at the moment because Carlton are prepared to take the game on, move it quickly, and they did that then. If they keep doing that and executing well, they'll score. They'll definitely score enough. A couple of skill errors have hurt them, but good play by Carlton in this first quarter.
Gee, Cripps was terrific. Gibbs wide to Graham. To Tui, talked about his prowess as a kick, gets it long. Walker's in a good spot here. Engaged, great mark. Well done. That long kick.
Absolutely, once again got in behind his defender, but really clever use of the body too, Bruce. No hands, just use of the body, put his backside, look at that, protected the space behind, and in the end, it's an easy mark.
How good was Cripps in the middle again there? And going back to that previous goal, Wietering actually started it all half back and it finished with Gibbs. Two blokes are 10 years apart with the number ones. So Walker, a number 2 himself, kicked over 50 goals in 2011. The only bloke since Fev in 2009 to do that, and that's a poor result. Had to nail it, didn't he?
It's a poor finish, but what they've been able to do in the last 5 minutes is just really use precision kicking it to their teammates' advantage. Makes a massive difference when you hit your targets.
Wait. Bring it in now.
So Hooley to himself, runs to the pocket,
Yours.
takes something off this kick, glides it towards the outer side. Vickery was up, couldn't hang on. The ball goes out of bounds. McIntosh goes to ground. Vickery has kicked the goal.
Jacob, walk away.
Townsend and Walker, both with short fuses. Got a boundary throw in. Richmond by 3, clears the pack. Boakhorst slips a hand pass away to Gibbs. Knew where the help was. Back to Boakhorst. Runs down towards right half forward. Centering ball. Reaching over the top, Asprey. Loose at the back, Everett. Slips a hand pass to Cruiser. Cruiser snaps the big guy. Oh, how nimble was that? It's great to see him back. Finished the season strongly last year. Few players are as wholehearted as Matthew Cruiser. There's just something about when you watch him, he does inspire you. He just works so hard, not always for much return, but never gives up. And that was very skillful.
It was a great call, Dennis, because not too many guys of his size could get his foot to that and get it back on that angle. Really clever goal by a guy of that height.
So the number 1 draft picks are hitting the scoreboard here. Talked about the fact they've got 4 out there tonight. Hampson, it's in the back.
Push in the back, Richmond. It's a push in the back, let him up. Stay
so
out.
The good and bad with Gibbs so far tonight, the 50-metre penalty, the goal at the other end, and a fair bit of the ball. So Ellis goes to Vickery again, Rowe. Pushed him out, Edwards cleverly done. It's a goal. We know he's a fine player, which is in doubt tonight. If we talk about blokes being a bit of a barometer, I feel like Edwards is a bit of a barometer for this team.
Yeah, I get the feeling they think that he can go to a whole new level this year, Bruce.
Well, he's the right age, he's had the right experience, if the body holds up, why not?
It's round 1, bit of feeling in this one. Dusty Martin getting amongst it, Sam Doherty as well. Footy's back, Duck, that's what we love to see. Blood rule now for Richmond coming off the ground.
Jacob Townsend, I think he might have a few blood rules this year.
He's got himself involved as well, Rich Ovett. Let's have another look at the Shane Edwards goal. This is what he can do. Up forward, only a fraction of a second to kick that goal. He's a quality player. If he kicks 30 goals for the year, 35 goals, Duck, that's a huge, huge step for Richmond making the top 4.
He's the Tigers' wing guard. He could be a super player.
Broke his leg round 15 last year. Looked to have a serious shoulder injury a couple of weeks back against Port. There he is again in the action. Miles got it across to Cochin in the opposite direction, Kerridge. Martin working hard, stolen away by Gibbs, then he dropped it. Rioli didn't know where it was. Gibbs on his feet. Cruiser latches on as well.
Thanks, guys.
Well, makes your night, tackled by 2 number 1s.
Thanks, guys. Let him up, easy. Let him up. Let him up.
Bit of quality, eh? Kerridge just the worst for wear. At the back of the pack, you can see. Jim Martin was so clever a moment ago, the way he tapped it away from Kerridge, who had control. Well done, Hampson. Gibbs in it a lot. Toe poke forward. Casbolt. Murphy's been busy enough. That's a neat kick, and it's set for Barkley. Rance, well, should have given away a free kick, Rance. Thought he caught him high, to be honest, and then runs the ball out.
Oh, how good was that? How good was that?
Well done, Alex Rance. Well done, Dylan Buckley as well, though. He's a lot smaller, did not take a backward step, but Rance saved his teammate then.
It's courage in a different way. It's courage to leave your opponent inside 50 or by himself and get up there and put pressure on the player about to receive the ball.
2 sons of guns, eh? Menadue, Murphy, ditto. He was taken down, making a free kick here, Murphy. And Rance didn't raise the arms. He kept them by his side. That's how disciplined he was. It was just marvellous. So Murphy set on the angle.
No more than that.
He's been good, given his lack of football. Runs around, kick is on the way. Touch of class. There's plenty of class. Cruiser got the last one, and now Murphy.
That is a huge captain's goal, that one, Doug. Gets Carlton in front. They've had a lot of play this quarter. Outstanding by Mark Murphy. Hasn't played a game this pre-season. That's going to test the shoulders. That is a big goal.
And that was a perfect example of the new rules. The 10-metre rule, you can see, able to run around, give himself, open up the angle of the goals. Easy goal for a class player like Murphy. We spoke about the two captains in the countdown. Hasn't Murphy been fantastic at the start of this game? So important that he was, and he's done it.
And Cochin only the one disposal. So definitely Mark Murphy taking the points in this first quarter. Good call, Doug.
And those number ones keep kicking goals for the Blues, don't they? They've been hitting the scoreboard. So terrific effort by their captain, Miles. Good clearance, Lambert, the first goal scorer of the season. Short to Martin, not far enough. He's a hard man to bring down, but it was a good tackle. Cripps getting him. Graham, little give, Kerridge.
No, you bumped him in the back. You bumped him in the back. Stay there.
Got to be happy for a Carlton supporter right now. It's a long way to go, I know, but the signs are very good. Here's Gibbs. A bit sloppy, the kick. Everett has to hold it up. He's in trouble. Goes backwards. That was clever. Gibbs off a step. Bangs it forward. Bockus decided to wait for it. Might have been the right call in the end. Walker. Ellis wraps him up. Ball not out. He's in trouble, I think. No, ball up.
Stand up, thanks. Well
Two coaches. Brendan Bolton, by the way, was supposed to join us for the pre-match. He was so in the moment that he forgot all about it. They've been great all week, the Blues.
There'd be a million things going through his head.
But just watching him a moment ago, he's riding a bump, wasn't he? Here's Cripps, 55 metres out, pulls it down towards full forward. Asprey gets back and takes the mark. Kicked 3 goals on debut against Melbourne. Many years back now, as I mentioned earlier, frequently injured, lands on the outer side.
East West.
Looks back inside the forward 50, marked by Lambert. That was in his first game, Asprey. Lambert, who started well, haven't seen much of him lately, told to go. Some hesitation, which means good coverage down the ground by Carlton. That would delight the coach, but Rance will find a way through. Lostone is away. Wow. He forgot to press send. It's close to the boundary. Revolt over the top. McIntosh, who delighted us on debut in this game last year. He was pushed as he kicked. It'll be a Richmond ball.
Push in the back. Straight away.
Lloyd will get it.
Just see it.
Such a good kick, Lloyd, but he'll set it up to full forward. Vickery front. Oh, was it? Edwards, it was. It was a huge fly at the back. Couldn't quite bring it in. Doherty, lovely kick. Gets it wide to Rowe. Spoke to Brendan Bolton during the week and he said Doherty plays footy like a coach. He said he just reads it so well. That's the reason they put him in the leadership. One of the reasons in the leadership squad. Had a fine season last year. Rose kicked to centre wing. Lamb. Graham worked it well. Curnow, Graham under pressure. Martin went hip and shoulder rather than the tackle, and now they wrap him up. Lostone involved as well.
Let it go.
Cripps front and centre, as he so often is, the youngster, and it'll be a ball up.
Entertaining quarter, this one. Phillips to the wrong man. Lambert tries to wriggle free. Curnow, great tackle.
Such an impressive quarter of footy from Carlton so far. They had all the play early, didn't make the most of it. But gee, they've been good ever since. Tackled hard. They've just got to finish it now, not concede a late goal.
Sorry, Cam. Lambert drives it forward, down towards the pocket. The mark is taken by White. White wants to go. Simpson. Fine season last year. Comes in short. This is Toohey. Zach Toohey, left half back. Everett, leading goal scorer. Did he juggle it over? No, it's a mark. Clock is running down to quarter time. 32 seconds of playing time as this high one goes over the wing. Casbolt launches himself, knocked down by Asprey. Off the ground, he comes straight to right. Kerridge Still time for Carlton. No. It's a short 32. Cripps has got it. But too late. So at quarter time on Friday Night Football, the underdogs on top. Carlton a 4-4. Richmond a 4-1. Enjoying this one. 3 points the difference.
Welcome back to the season opener here at the MCG, and it's been an impressive Carlton outfit here so far, leading by 3 points, led beautifully by Bryce Gibbs and Mark Murphy. They've picked up plenty of possessions. Now, what we have here tonight at the MCG, we've got Spy Cam, and we are looking for some incidents where we can zoom in on and give you a really close look at home. Here, Ty Vickery takes a mark. He gets given the 50-metre penalty, but there was a free kick paid down the ground to Jack Riewoldt on Sam Rowe. As you can see there, as we zoom in, Rowe clearly gets Riewoldt high. He was given a free kick. It didn't matter. Vickery got a 50-metre anyway. It went back and he kicked the goal. Now, down the other end, Andrew Walker really used the body well in this marking contest. As we see, the high ball goes in. We'll zoom in on this contest between Walker and Floston. This is just great use of the body by Andrew Walker, an experienced player. Didn't use his hands, used the hips beautifully as we zoom back out. That is a great example of taking a mark from behind. We're going to use Spy Cam a little bit more tonight. Back to you, Bruce.
Great stuff, Richard. Likes that end of the ground, Andrew Walker, doesn't he? Remember that specky mark of the year? So Koch had such a slow start tonight.
Yeah, he's been very quiet, and I'm going to keep a close eye on him. I don't know what he's doing to not get himself in the game. Only the 2 disposals so far. He's got to start having an impact on this one, because Mark Murphy and Bryce Gibbs, they've been terrific for the Blues.
Second term begins then at the MCG. Cruiser tries to backhand it down. Townsend is claimed. Cruiser, like lightning when he hit the deck there with the tackle.
Thank you.
He's got the appetite for it. Great goal in the first quarter.
The metre. Matt, step away.
Hampson. Martin. 8 possessions in the first quarter.
King straight away.
Got the umpire, so
here we go.
Stevic will toss it up on the outer circle. Hampson emphatically. Cochin, well, it bounced away from him. Cripps, Jamison, and now Curnow.
Gets it to half forward. Good kick, and Casbolt a fair way from home, but takes a strong mark. How quickly can he move it on? He goes to the pocket. Lamb, well done by Grimes, just getting it away and getting it out of play.
Very good spoil by Grimes there, because it was a nice kick by Casbolt. Looked to be to the advantage of Lamb. Just got the low fist in. That's good quality defensive play.
And that's really his trademark, isn't it? I mean, that's probably the thing he is best known for. Cruiser doing a bit of roving. Here's Cochin. Good to see him getting a kick away in the back half.
Contact, Carlton!
Hey guys, the other player Richmond got into the play is Miles. Hasn't touched the footy yet. He's a player that gets them going in close.
So Doherty, Tui. Yeah, he's got Simpson in the half-forward flank. It's a beautiful kick. Simpson got the length here.
Yeah, from there. Oh, he's not going to try.
Well, we've got Curnow not giving Cochin any room, and then you've got Murphy, who gets an uncontested mark and a shot at goal.
He's been a pretty good goal kicker against the Tigers, Murphy. Averages about a goal a match against Richmond. Well under that career-wise. Can he hit the board for the second time here? 5 times he's kicked 2 goals against Richmond in his career. Coming back, no, just a hook all the way. So,
guys, a metre separation in the
disappointing result. Good build-up, but Murphy's been terrific.
Play on, Paul. Play on.
Hooley rushes to the pocket. Riewoldt in front. Paid the mark and well, it's a free kick.
Oh, play on. Yours.
This one down towards half forward. Lloyd getting some space. Good juggled mark. Long way up the ground. Looks inside the forward 50. Griffiths will need to double back. Jamison, brilliant. Down to Wiedering, the lookalikes.
Play on.
Weghorst. short one. Casbolt. They're playing with confidence. Cripps waits for Casbolt to run. Not the best kick in the world, but good hands. Good hands can save a bad kick. Comes back towards the middle. Try saving that. Martin missed it. Curnow. Now Tui. Can he get away? Oh, terrific stuff. Grabbed the hand passing arm, did Rioli. And suddenly Zach couldn't go forward. Rioli, about 55 metres out. The cousin of Cyril sends it long down towards full forward. Thumped away down there by Wiedering. Opportunity in front for Jamison. Falls to Townsend. And his kick is wayward and out of bounds on the full.
Gotta love this from Daniel Rioli. That's what the Tigers fans want to see from him. Still got a small body and he's going to build into a mature adult football body eventually. But when he's new to the scene, that's what he can do straight away. Speed, tackling, put that pressure on. Just starting to get a few Carlton defenders nervous.
Yeah, well, that's what his cousin does best, isn't it? Only little.
His uncle wasn't bad at tackling either, was he?
No.
In the same jumper, the same number. So what a big night for him, along with Jacob Wiedering, the two debutants tonight for opposite teams, both 18 years of age. Wiedering, in fact, 18 for the whole season. Cruiser probably just won it. Gibbs held on to Curnow. Murphy so busy. But that one, a bit of a waste. Asprey. And Ellis goes back to Ellis. High numbers for Ellis. All through the last few seasons. Played a lot of consecutive matches now. Gets to McIntosh.
He's at left half back, McIntosh. Thursday night footy at the G. It's all back and rolling as the ball goes down towards half forward. In from the side, the big leap came from Asprey. Doherty advances the ball, did well. Wittering's in trouble, taken down strongly by Edwards. Ball is in there somewhere.
Fair tackle, fair tackle. Easy,
I had a perfect view of that about 10 metres away. Didn't think it was too aggressive. Ruckman lock up. Neither one touched it. Cripps so adept at getting the arms free. Doherty slips it away. Cruiser, thumping hand pass. And now Murphy looks towards the middle. Doesn't go long. What will Gibbs do here? Finesses. Did pretty well. Although it flicks out towards Rance. McIntosh and now Cochin. Cochin, short. Not 15. McIntosh caught napping. Caught. That's holding the footy. Wright got him dead to rights.
Wasn't 15 metres.
Not the point.
Cruiser, third man up, Cripps. Martin tucked it under his arm, belts the ball out wide. Minanju and Bockhurst, who can win it? Bockhurst engaged early, then Minanju hung on, then Bockhurst hangs on. Good umpiring, I reckon, let it go. Bockhurst hands over the top. Martin, and rather, Hooley gets involved in a boundary throw-in. A couple of featherweights at one another out there. Wasn't quite Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, but it was pretty good.
No, a little bit of holding either way, but as you said, a good contest.
You'd want either of those freaks, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'd be squawking all afternoon.
Yes, one each.
Balls down in front. Was there a first one? That's the question. Miles under there, and we'll get a ball up.
I think one of the most impressive things about Carlton tonight so far, at no stage in this game so far have Richmond had any control of the tempo of the game. They do like to play that way, and Carlton have done really well to not allow that.
So Cruiser coming off. There's a man who knows the Medicare number off by heart. He's had his share of injuries. This is just a minor one, just a scratch.
Richo, you'd know better than anyone, the Deledio factor. They've only won 2 out of 13, I think, when he hasn't played, and they've been against Brisbane. This is, for a long stretch now.
He doesn't miss a lot of games, Brett, since his debut, but you're right, when he's not out there, he's got everything ready. He runs and carries. He's a great user of the ball. He can mark it, and he's a goal kicker. So he has been a barometer for Richmond.
Yeah, they're 2-11 when he doesn't play, so Bockhorst couldn't quite. And then possibly into the back. Now may be in trouble. Ball up.
If Richmond are going to be a good team, I mean a really good team, they've got to get over that, Bruce, and they've got to know that no matter who's playing out there, Brett Deledio or not, they've got to get the job done. So somehow from here, they've got to get their rhythm going, got to play their game. They've got to start getting on top of Carlton.
Jack was clever. Martin's kick, well done to him to cut it off. Couldn't quite take the mark. Gets it wide. Simpson. We were told by Andrew Mackay pre-match that Simpson's numbers pre-season were the best he's ever had at 31 years of age.
Zach Tui takes off then. Goes a long way back inside the defensive 50. Jamison. Wittering is freed up. Now Murphy wants it. Wittering, that was a well-disguised kick. Kept it low and was bearing down. Now Murphy ambitiously on the bounce to Graham. Curnow, who's been terrific, sends it down towards the attacking 50. Wrestled out of it by Asprey was Lamb. Asprey having a good night, goes short. Well, diving after it, Miles. Almost paid a price there. Asprey, Ellis, Brandon Ellis, who's been quiet by his lofty standards, tracks the ball towards the boundary. Needs to be careful now. Slips a hand pass away. Walker's got the footy. McIntosh got him. Hooley misses the chance. Now it's right on the 50. Hooks it down towards full forward. Minajou, a small body, and that was good enough. He was the man on the spot. A 203-centimetre giant Phillips was bearing down but couldn't get to the footy.
Yeah, one of those legs to go faster. Phillips, they just wouldn't go. Good fly at the back from White. Well read by Griffiths. That's a great handball. Rioli, neat-looking kick to half forward. Rowe belts it away from Edwards. Jamison, Edwards has got him. He dropped it. Great chase. He's got some options here, Edwards, and he's, well, I thought he made a bit of a meal. Jet can kick a goal from here, and he's made a bigger meal of it.
Great chase by Edwards, but another example of the Carlton players laying off and allowing Edwards to play on. It really has opened the game up, hasn't it? Really allowed that player to move the ball quickly. Poor kick, but it still got to Rebolt because he was able to play on so quickly.
I think Cochin was the one on the outer side, wasn't he? He was running inside the 50. Should have required a good kick. It was touched on the mark, this one anyway, out of defence. Curnow loved his game. Kerridge, Lamb, steps around a would-be tackler. Sends it up towards the wing, close to the boundary. The two number ones, Vlostone. Didn't take it out. Yes, he did. Well, the boundary throw in, right on the wing. So, almost halfway in the second term. And the rival coaches, Damien Hardwick, in his 7th season. Brendan Bolton in his first half. After it goes Bokhorst in the opposite direction, Rebolt, jarred out of there. Kerridge did well.
He did, Dennis, and then Cripps' hands were terrific. Bokhorst has been really busy and very physical. Great running by the Blues. Simpson, not quite by Casbolt. Rance, well done. Vlostone got his head down, no free. I reckon the umpiring's been terrific. Townsend. Rance, did he run over? Not sure. Ball's going to come back though because Simpson underneath it. Carlton are really screwing in tight here, aren't they?
Pressure's great. Their hands in close is really sharp. They look very good.
So Simpson to centre half forward. Walker flew. Casbolt got the best look at it though. Ball in dispute. Squeezes out the back. Townsend. Ellis has to stop and prop. And that's a dangerous kick and it's cut off. And this bloke can kick it back over their heads if he wants to.
That is a terrible kick, terrible option coming out of defence, and that's what pressure does. Carlton's pressure has been outstanding this first half. Just had nowhere to go, tried to bite off the impossible. And this bloke can kick a goal. Once saw him kick 6 goals for the Crows against North Melbourne in a ripping finish.
Yeah, fair way back. He was only a kid when he did it, didn't he? Kerridge, but he is a good kick. He's been a busy player. So we've got the length.
I think we were both at that game, Bruce, and watching him play that day, I thought this bloke is going to be an absolute superstar, but hasn't quite had the opportunities and hasn't quite made the most of them.
Well, they love the fact with the smaller rotations, the big engine, they reckon he's a bloke that will never blow up. Big running capacity.
Curnow runs the boundary line. Well taken by White. That was courageous. Bent down to get the ball in flight. Phillips stripped. Cochin. And Corey Ellis, and it runs out of bounds. Brandon Ellis just 5 possessions.
Straight up!
Doherty and Griffiths. Mismatch.
Stay there, Fleer, if need be. Hold there.
Boundary throw in. Gets them focusing. Cripps, he's the master of the look-away hand pass. Kerner to Gibbs. Gibbs has been terrific. Thumps it down towards the pocket. At the back is Lamb. He was pushing.
Hand in the back.
Cripps' positioning at that last stoppage, it's just perfect. He gets into the correct spot every time around those stoppages.
Hand in the back.
He's such a beast too. I mean,
He's had 5 stoppages, Bruce.
I saw him walking with you before the match. I mean, such a big man. Gibbs back to Graham. Good kick. And the leading goal kicker of last year gets himself into a goal-scoring position.
And that's their 10th mark inside 50. Last year they averaged 9. And I guess the big talk at the start of this year is
Got to be a free kick there, though, doesn't it?
Probably a bit unlucky, but that to take 10 marks this early on, when we thought that this would be maybe their problem, their forward line, it's been a fantastic start for the Blues.
So time's a bit stiff. Everett, just one step. Gets it home. And I reckon if you stop the match now, Brendan Bolton might get the 3 votes. I mean, because it's a long way to go, but right now they're going all right under him, aren't they?
Just to talk about that forward line, it really is not, I guess, a great forward line on paper. You've got Casbolt as the big option up there. You've got Cruiser that plays up there, but what they do have, they have versatility. Walker and Everett and these guys can play down back and also forward.
Yeah, there's great movement on that forward line too. Just want some players leading. Done that. Very impressive Carlton so far. Still, the Tigers got some pluck as Townsend got it. The teammate in the middle there, Lambert, driven forward by Morris. Great mark, Rowe. Held his position and fell back to take the mark. This is Doherty over the top. White under pressure. Steps around Rioli. High ball, favours Hooley. Up he goes, juggles the mark. No, he doesn't. He drops it. Everett gave a contest, and that was enough. You just get the feeling the confidence is on the rise for the Blues.
That was a fantastic mark by Rowe, wasn't it, on Vickery? Only had the one possession, Vickery. Has to do more.
There's a match at Punt Road earlier tonight. A lot of those guys we just saw played in that match. Told that Delidio's still a couple of weeks away. Marriage probably next week. Conquer a long time away. And maybe the Irishman could force his way in for the Tigers next week. So
Grigg should play next week.
Hampson. Miles arcs the back. And that's a clever kick, actually. Gets it to Rioli. Daniel sets it up. Revolt front spot. Rowe again at the back. He's been good, Rowe, hasn't he?
Their backline's organised. Rowe's getting himself loose. They've always got one spare back there at the moment. And Richmond really don't look like taking a mark inside forward 50. Only 3 marks so far.
Cripps and Graham looking on. Boundary throw in. Hampson knocks it down. Beats Lambert. Taken by Lloyd. Ducking the head Townsend on his knees. Did well. Hooley in space. Blostone. 51 metres out. High ball. Has it got the carry? It has. Good team goal. Hang on.
Your call's touch, Craig. Your call is touch. I didn't see a touch, so give the goal. Score review. Umpire scores the goal. Please confirm it was a touch off the blue.
No.
Foot.
It's a strange one.
Review complete. Confirmed goal.
It's a little bit odd because one umpire said to the other, "You call touch," and he said, "No, I didn't." Anyway, justice was done. That's the right call. Blostone, they needed that one, and they shared it around under pressure. The Tigers. Hasn't been their strong point tonight. 36 plays 31 then. 8.5 minutes out from half-time on Thursday night footy.
Nick Floston, one of those players who's charged with taking Richmond to the next level. Nice goal, long goal. A much-needed goal, of course, for the Tigers. They've just got to find some sort of fluency now. They've got to find a way to get their game going.
Cruiser went early. Murphy couldn't quite get the kick away. Miles starting to get busy. Martin, Cripps, building and building. Simpson. Their handball's been impressive tonight. White kicks to just over centre wing, a contest. Phillips did well in the contest, so did Buckley. Hand by Lamb. Had to wait for it right. Ellis didn't give away a free kick. Wright did very well to Lamb. Lamb to Gibbs, and then Gibbs, does he get to Kerridge? Courage showed. McIntosh coming in hard.
Thanks, guys.
So Gibbs aware of all this.
Great call, Bruce. A lot of courage shown there.
So Carlton deep in attack. And wrapped up and the ball up.
Let him up now.
So we're about where we were at quarter time. A goal apiece in this term.
Play the footy, don't go high.
Hampson and Cruiser lock up. Gibbs couldn't find a way through. Kerridge was wonderful just moments ago. Boundary throw in.
Separate the meter. Hold.
Great to have footy back. A good game to start. Really enjoying this one. Cruiser and Hampson. Hampson works in front. Barely touched it. Graham falling down. Everett stumbling into his back. A tackler. Taken by Lamb. Tackled by Gloucester. The goal kicker back in defence now. And that was a hard throw. Yeah, there you go. Be careful. Be careful. A word to the wise. 7.5 minutes from half-time. Casbolt goes up. Minadew out of the congestion. Kicks it around the outer side. Pickle bounce. Phillips is first back. Had to go low down. Give it to Doherty. He coughs it up. Minadew getting no support there. Everyone wanting the hand pass. Well, Asprey gives it to Lambert. Back to Asprey. Knocked away by Wright. Taken by Miles. Quickly across towards support. Lambert went down. Well done, Kerridge. That feigned hand pass again. Served Cripps well. Kerridge comes back. Centering ball. Bounces wide of Gibbs. Taken by Cochin. Rance comes away at half back. Kicks towards midfield. Simpson launches himself. Knocks away. Slapped out of there. It worked okay though. Revolt was intending to. Phillips knocked it that way. Lloyd sends it long down towards full forward. Martin worked in front. White behind. And this one is floating out of bounds on the full.
Great call, Dennis. It was frantic at half back, wasn't it? Dusty Martin looks so dangerous when he gets into a one-on-one forward at 50. Ellis just to sit it for Vickery. Oh, gee, White went out. He gives a free kick away.
Very silly. Didn't need to do it. Brendan Bolton just showing a bit of frustration, and quite rightly so. Unrealistic in his attempt. Went early.
Sean
did not need to give that free kick away.
I think he'd already got a little bit too far under the footy anyway, Vickery. So, yeah, just really bad judgment.
Ball still only just got there then.
Yeah, so Vickery was running under the footy.
Hey guys, you reckon if you were Dustin Martin and you were inside 50 in the goal square, you'd tell all your teammates to get away from him, I reckon, because he won't be beaten one-on-one, and it was actually a 2-on-2 then. I reckon if Martin was one-on-one, he wins that 9 times out of 10.
Has he got that in him, Richo?
To tell them to get out of his way? Well, he should, because he's one of the best one-on-one players in the comp, and if he's down in the goal square and the teammates with him, might be saying get up the ground a bit.
Vickery for a second goal tonight. Strong looking kick. Richmond get back the lead. We think back, 2 50-metre penalties. That one a bit sloppy there. Had a couple more shots.
Vickery's had the 2 possessions, and he's been the one that has got those 2 50-metre. Took him to the top of the square, and then he got that free. 2 kicks, 2 goals.
So they may be a little fortunate to be in front right now, the Tigers. But they are. They've come back well.
Well, just maybe this is what Richo's talking about. We see Dusty Martin coming in to celebrate with Ty Vickery, but then just has a bit of a conversation with him about perhaps getting up the ground, getting up and around and coming back in, leaving Dusty Martin one out. Good call by Richo. Get him one out in the goal square. So dangerous.
He looks like a bloke. tell you where to go. There goes the kick down towards half forward. Well done by Townsend, and Vickery again bobs up.
Ty might say now, hey, Dusty, you get out of my way, mate.
Oh, that was a beautiful kick, and well done, Ty, because he got held, but he stayed in the contest just before there.
15 gone.
And really strong hands. You've got to make the most of those. You can't let those slip through. So, strong mark.
Well done, Townsend, as well. Just the one game for GWS last season. Struggled with a foot injury, a total of 24, but this is Vickery going at his third goal. He's way off target. He hands it out to the right. Still, it increases the lead. It's 38 to 36. There's Dusty. Fine pre-season. He's just a terrific player.
21 votes in the Brownlow last year. Smart by McIntosh wasn't easy. Murphy and Simpson, terrific smother. McIntosh now involved. There's Grimes out there. Wiedering runs it over, boundary throw in. Really 6 days, I reckon, for Carlton here. They've made a lot of the running tonight. Richmond have come back. They've got the lead. They're pushing forward here. Let's see what happens as we close in on the half-time. Phillips engages Griffiths early. Cochin ran hard. Still hasn't really been able to impose anything on the game, Cochin. Been plenty of effort, though. Murphy should get a free kick against Hooley.
Leave it on. Play on.
So 14th disposal for Murphy. A lot of Carlton players around that 13 and 14 going into half-time. Cruiser.
Play on.
Thumped it away. Tries the hand pass. Ashby down low. Murphy again. Shrugging one. Shrugging two. Geez, playing well, the captain.
The trick will be, can he play 4 quarters? Graham too slow. Look downfield. Must have been nothing on, and now Cochin wins a free. Cochin across the ground. Gloucester on the defensive 50. Loops a hand pass over the top. Martin was cool. Gloucester under pressure. This ball ricochets towards the outer side, so they've got it to do again. Hooley, hand passes forward. Rance short. Not 15, Cochin to the wing. Revolt. Out against the boundary line. 6 times the leading goal scorer for the Tigers, 54 last year. Richo did it 13 times. That is a remarkable record. How does anyone do that? Here's Rance. Untidy. Hooley. This has been gutsy by the Tigers, though. Times they've been dazzled by Carlton. Here's Martin. Got it from Asprey. Towards half forward. Lambert. He's about 75 metres out from goal. Griffiths wants it long. Lloyd is coming at him. Lloyd's in space. If this ball gets there, Lloyd has to wait. Oh, it almost got there. He missed it. Opportunity now for the man going in. Tui couldn't get it out of there. Strong arming at Martin, and they combine. After their chat, they combine. Vickery kicks a goal. They're like a tag team. They're like the Cracker Brothers. 8 points the margin. And Vickery doing his job, and Martin, that was splendid. It really does take 2 on most occasions to get him down.
That's fantastic. Great call, Jenny. He's a beast, Martin, isn't he?
Well, just a bit of beast mode from Dustin Martin. The fend off and the handball. Is he the strongest one-on-one player in the competition, Dustin Martin?
For his size, in that situation, as Dennis said, you need 2 players to tackle him. Just so strong. And he invites the contact. He goes at them.
Gee, Cripps was wonderful again there. To Kerridge, to Gibbs, to Everett, to full forward. Bockhurst getting back. Rance. How good was that? Just bounced off. Kick wide from Minichu and finds the line. How's it called? Delivered.
Oh.
Doherty. Everett running onto it. Gets it to about 20 metres. Walker big fly. Cochin. Just working his way into the game a bit, isn't he, Cochin? Off a step. Can he get it to a man? Good mark, Townsend.
He's left out back. towards the wing. Vickery, a long way up the ground, takes this mark, wheels around, wants to go. Runners at half forward. Riewoldt is one of them. Just goes over the top. Nicely weighted kick missed by Edwards. Soccer's off the ground. He knew where the help was. He got it across towards Lloyd. Lloyd snaps and hangs a long time in the air. Lambert had time to get across and contest. Knocked it down. This is Ellis. Corey Ellis. Curnow with experience. Ellis with the leg. Couldn't move it. Deep in the pocket. Riewoldt beat one tackler. Dragged down by White. Holding the ball. Incorrect disposal more particular.
East-west.
Gee, they were on their Tigers. They had so many options going forward.
They've really tightened up the Tigers. Carlton haven't taken a mark in the last 14 minutes.
Here's Lamb doing some good roving. Check signs the ball, keeps it in. Vlostone. He sort of got the goal that got them going, Vlostone, against the flow. Carlton were in a bit of control at that stage. Ellis, Hooley.
Hold on, Joe.
So the Tigers will lead it at half-time. It's almost certain now. Townsend done enough.
Right out.
Big-bodied midfielder. Misses that kick. Asked a fair bit though of Menadue. Good tackle from Menadue. Blues not quite being able to get control of it. Townsend, I think he's in trouble.
Stand up now. Well battled. Thanks. Just get up. Thanks.
I think the umpiring's been really good.
It has been very good. Entertaining game. A few Carlton surprised me. Dylan Buckley, no free kick there. You don't want to be giving away a free kick late in this second quarter. But just two teams having a fair dinkum crack. It's great that footy's back. Real footy.
Cripps again gets the arms free and gets a hand pass off. He's quite incredible, Cripps. He must be much stronger than we give him credit for, or how he looks.
It's his ability, as you just said, Dennis, to get his arms free every time. It's what you got told to do in junior footy, and he does it just about better than anyone at the moment.
Yeah, something to behold at the moment. Knocked down by Cruiser. Coming through there was Cochin, inadvertently socket forward by Kerridge, taken by Hooley. There he is again. He knew the tackler was right on his heels with a shimmy and sets up a goal-scoring opportunity with only 30 seconds till half-time.
He's just a wonderful footballer, Patrick Cripps. So young, but so strong in the contest, but has the composure as well. That was a clever kick. He could have just bombed that long to the square, but hit up Graham. Nice use.
So we're running over the numbers. Shuffle. Kick is on the way. Important one too for the Blues. Hits the post. Clock stops at 6 seconds. 44 plays 37. The one thing Carlton can't do is go in at halftime and be disheartened by this.
No, they've got to be pleased with this first half. So competitive. Maybe a couple more chances they could have taken, but been a positive first half.
Yep. By the same token, the Tigers have been gutsy. Kick comes out. Griffiths goes up, knocks it towards the boundary. And it's half-time.
You're watching Thursday Night Footy on Fox. Half-time.
There you go. We've got a great game. This opening round match between Richmond and Carlton. Blues were doing all the attacking against the run of play towards the end. 3 consecutive goals. Vlostone and 2 to Vickery for the Tigers has given the Tigers a 7-point lead at half-time. But both teams in it. Blues seem to be just running a little bit on the out of steam towards the end of that second term, and the Tigers got them out the back a few times. But boys, your first thoughts, Dermot? The Blues have been very good.
I thought the one thing that really stood out for me was the Blues are very, very well organised. One kick away from the footy. So if Richmond got it and looked up, they had to go look up, retreat, can't kick it that way, go sideways. They were very well organised.
Blues are the dominant side for most of the first half, really. Sliding doors moment, though. Boston kicks that goal. Carlton gets it down the other end, and Sam Carey's first game for Carlton just didn't quite commit fully to that contest. Right on the top of the goal square, he commits to that, takes a mark, kicks a goal and steadies for Carlton. It's a different ball game now, but Richmond have got their tail up now.
They're looking for competitiveness, and I think we saw that from the Blues the whole 2 quarters. But then when the Tigers were challenged, they actually stood up. Branch was fantastic.
Let's go to the Ultra Tune Lab. David King and Jared Hill, your thoughts?
thought it was sensational half
Loved
of football.
it. Absolutely loved
it. It was terrific. I thought Carlton showed what they've been planning for 6 months. The coach has actually got his message across. You can see their ball movement almost work from minute one. The defensive side of their game really strong. Richmond have got a challenge, but they're good enough, they'll overcome it.
Anybody is surprised at the way Carlton has played, they haven't seen the NAB Cup or the NAB Challenge. They played like this against the Swans. They out-pressured the Swans. They're the best pressure side in the business. And if they keep the pressure up, they'll be there when the whips are cracking late in the game.
All right, boys, let's have a look at the recap of this first half of football. And Menadue got the first goal here for the second goal, in fact, for the Tigers side. And they got out to a 10-point lead, kicked the first 2 goals of the game. Then it was this man who got in there for the Blues. Lamb was able to kick 20 metres, set shot, and it was back to a 3-point ball game. Vickery, though, was able to take a mark. A 50-metre penalty. 2 of the Richmond goals came from 50-metre penalties. Whether it was the sling or whether it was Jack getting manhandled in the square, it didn't matter. The Tigers got the goal.
Ball goes down the other end and there's a big contest. Gets to the face of goal, and who's cruising past? The cruiser himself, Matty Cruiser, on the non-dominant side. Left foot snap over the shoulder. Not too many ruckmen can do that. Go to the other end of the ground now. Watch Titch Edwards push, push, push against Tui. He stays in the pack. He gets a left foot snap at goal as well. Rings true. Dusty Martin comes in and has a little bit to say to a few of the lads. I don't think anyone's too scared there.
Just sparks them up a little bit there, damn, that's for sure. And the other storyline of the night's really been the battle of the captains. Mark Murphy has definitely won that battle. He's been fantastic. 15 possessions and a fantastic captain's goal there to keep Carlton in the game, that's for sure. Then we see Nick Graham with a beautiful little pass in there to Andreas Everett, who goes back and converts.
Now's the time when the Tigers kick in. They started to kick into the game. All of a sudden, the handball from Basher Hurley to Vlastern, just outside the 50 metre, was a really good kick, straight down the middle of the ground, and a great goal. They were questioned it, and all of a sudden, in the last one's Vickery again for his 3rd for the quarter, an outstanding kick, and that put them 7 points up at half-time.
Yeah, so 2 goals there.
Oh, he's got one more here. That's his second. Here's his 3rd coming up now. A little handball from Dusty Martin. Vickery in the right spot. He was actually outstanding in the last part of that quarter.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the half-time scores. 7-2-44. Carlton with 12 scoring shots to 9, 5-7-37. But the Tigers, accurate kicking there. Jono, you're saying that Carlton just had all the inside marks, inside 50 there for a while. They had all the play, and as you said, it was just that pivotal moment when Kerridge could have taken the mark, just reached in a bit, and then suddenly the Tigers got 3 easy ones out the back.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst contest you'd see, Eddie, but Brendan Bolton will be passing on that message. If we're going to be a strong side and a powerful unit going forward, you need to put mind and body on the line in those situations, and unfortunately Richmond goes straight up the other end and kicks a goal.
In his defence, it was one of those wobbly floating kicks. Wasn't a kick from Gibbs. It just wobbled in, and sometimes they just shift in the air, hard to judge. Let's have a look at the battle of the captains, Mark Murphy and Trent Cotchin. Have you seen this one?
Look, they've both been pretty good. Only Cotchin came into it late in the second quarter, but Murphy's been a mainstay all the way through. Won plenty of the footy. You see the metres gain there on screen. That gives you an idea of his influence on the game so far. 15 possessions. What has he got? Contested 5 of them, but he's also had 3 clearances. But he's been able to get to the outside of the pack when others, like Cripps now,
I was going to say, he's been enjoying Cripps playing alongside him.
It's amazing how that happens, though, Ed. You get somebody who comes in who's very good at an attribute like winning the ball, like Cripps. Suddenly your game reflects the change they've put on the sport. He can stay a little bit to the outside and get a little bit more footy himself.
Let's have a look at Cotchin in action.
Murph's small, and Cotchin's got most of his kicks behind the centre of the ground if you watch the game. Nothing up forward really. He's been beaten in some contests. He hasn't been tagged at all. And he needs to lift and start to actually push forward and give some damage. Late he did, but most of his stuff's been down back. He was ordinary till about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter, and then he came with a bit of a rush and got into the game. His work around the ball strong. He's still working away in the middle. He's got good hands, as you can see. He works hard, but I think Murph's beat him if you put the head-to-head.
Yeah, so at times he's looked almost like he's tried too hard at times.
He was played tight early.
Yeah, just take your time, he'll be right. He'll run into the game. Big second half coming up from those two players. But you got the feeling there that Trent Cotchin was just starting to really get into his stride in the last 10 or 15 minutes of that second term. Let's go to Johnny Ralph from the Herald Sun in the newsroom. Johnny, what's going on?
Well, 8 more games to come, Ed, and there are a lot of new faces amongst the 16 sides still yet to play. Now, for Essendon, so much talk about the makeup of their side over summer. 5 of their top-ups and 10 new faces. Matt Stokes, James Kelly, Ryan Crowley, John Simpkin and Matt D. For Gold Coast, both Gary Ablett and Dion Prestia have been named. At GWS, no John Patton, despite the fact that Jeremy Cameron has been suspended. He just has not been selected in that side. For West Coast, Jack Redden is in, but no Lewis Jetta, still out with that calf complaint. They play the Lions. Josh Shackey is in, the big number 2 key forward. Dane Beams, though, might miss potentially half of the season with knee tendonitis, which is a huge blow for that club. For the Hawks, we know they have 6 changes, amongst them Liam Shields not taking his place given his fractured wrist. He might be back, though, as early as round 2, which is a great little boost for that football club. Now, Collingwood, of course, are the story tonight. Now, we know 2 weeks ago, Gary Pert, the Collingwood Chief Executive, talked about volcanic behaviour that was still occurring across the league. Now it has emerged through the Herald Sun that 11 Collingwood players, about a quarter of their list, have tested positive to those off-season hair tests. We know they aren't binding. Do not give them positive strikes. But Ed, I know you have a game to play on the weekend. I get the feeling you might frog march a few of your players in on Monday morning and demand answers. How do you respond to those players?
You'd like to, John, except we don't know. We don't have the information.
You can ask them though, Ed.
That figure is an arbitrary. No, you can't ask them, mate. You can't ask them. That's the situation. So you can't do that as much as you'd like to. And I think that story says what there's speculation is another 2 clubs that have more strikes compared to an alleged 11 that Collingwood have. I'm not defending the Collingwood situation if it's there, but what we do have to look at is the whole situation, because if that figure is right, and let's assume that that Mark Robinson's story is correct for a second, just for argument's sake, well then this whole situation is a complete facade. It is just, it makes no sense, because any confidentiality has gone out the window completely.
Which is what the policy is built around, isn't it?
Well, that's the confidentiality. Why have it at all? And if you're going to have it, then put some teeth into it, so that this whole instance that we've been going on, this charade that we've been going on, that it's a health issue, it's neither fish nor fowl at the moment. So the AFL and the Players Association, in the collective bargaining, and the players themselves and the clubs have got to sit down and decide what they want to do. As we've said, this is a society issue, but you know what? Football can be above society. But what we have to do is decide what we want to be in football. And at the moment, it's the proverbial dancing with the sister. You're going through the motions, but you're not fair income. And you know, if this is the case, then Gary Pert's comments over the last 3 years have been vindicated, and the stance that Collingwood has had has again been vindicated, and we have to look at what the whole situation is. But you know, if we don't want it in the game, then you have to have penalties. If you're prepared to put up with it and just say it, then why do the illicit tests at all? Just worry about the performance-enhancing tests. That's a decision that has to be made by the footy community. We'll take a break. We'll come back and have a good look at this big game tonight. Richmond and Carlton. There's only 7 points in it. The Blues are playing well, but the Tigers are starting to put the pedal to the metal.
You're watching Tigers Blues. This is Thursday Night Footy on Fox.
3 more scoring shots to Carlton, but it is the Tigers by 7 points. Magnificent shots of the Citadel, that is the mighty MCG. Richmond and Carlton on round 1 of the 2016 Toyota AFL season. Let's go into the lab now, thanks to UltraTune. And Jared and Kingy, what have you got for us, boys? What have you come up with?
Well, Carlton should be in front. That's the first thing to look at.
Should be a long way in front.
What they've done has been fantastic, Jared. Let's celebrate their positives. After such a short space of time, Brendan Bolton's defensive plan has worked straight away, and Richmond can't get the ball out of their back 50. Let's have a quick look at what we're actually looking at. And Dermot Brereton highlighted this throughout the course of the game. You can see behind the ball, they're setting up really well. You've got these 2 players at the back here that are essentially half-back flankers that have pushed right up the ground, and they're the players that are intercepting the Richmond counter-attack, and the pressure built until boiling point, and they just froze. They just snapped down back and gave Carlton repeat entries.
Well, we saw Brandon Ellis there, who struggled really, 7 possessions, 6 of them behind the halfway mark. Really did have a bit of a mental explosion. You asked me whether it was between the ears earlier, and clearly they did crumble under some expectation.
Carlton should be a long way in front. They've taken 11 marks inside the forward 50, but they just continue to bomb the ball in deep and really give them a chance to pick the ball off, you like. Rance, Nashby and these guys. A couple of bad mistakes.
A little bit of ill discipline.
Ill discipline, just let Richmond back into it. And unfortunately, Brendan Bolton, be really frustrated with this because they've done a lot right. There's Shane Edwards there now. He's got a bad shoulder. We know that he's carried that into the game. And maybe he's fair game, Jared. But you know he's such a damaging player. He still had an effect on the game with his 5 or 6 disposals. Here's his class here. But they're going to go after him, aren't they?
They are.
Fair game?
Oh, I think he's fair game. At worst, it could be a fine, but nothing so far at the moment. Right now, though, second half looks like a battle of the captains. Cotchin must lift. Murphy's been brilliant, but he's had an interrupted pre-season. It'll be interesting to see how much he's got left in the tank.
It's a really good challenge for Richmond, and it is between the ears. We've talked about this for a long period of time. Crunched games, round one's a crunch game, regardless of who they play. We all expect them to get the job done tonight. But when you look at their ability to stay in the game, they have done a pretty good job given the pressure their backline's been under.
There was just one little element. Dustin Martin had one possession inside forward 50. It created a goal. I think if they're to win and win well, he's got to do much more work inside that forward 50.
Let's go to Brad Johnson at the MCG and just ask what you're seeing, Brad, because we're seeing some really good ball movement from Carlton and Richmond just finding a way to hang in.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And you look at that Edwards thing, what they're doing at centre bounce and stuff, they're just lining up on his shoulder, just giving him a bump, nothing more than you'd normally see, but they are certainly into his shoulder. So it has been fair play here at the ground, Kingy. The forwards for Richmond as a collective just aren't working well. Yeah, the last 5 minutes was very good from them, but overall, they just need a fair bit of work to do in that area of the ground. So their forwards coach has got a fair bit in their setups to get right in this second half. The last thing I'll leave you with, though, boys, when Richmond run out, they tap a sign just as they run onto the MCG, and on that sign says bold, manic, outnumber. They haven't done it in the first half. Let's see if they can do it in the second half of this game.
Very good. I wish that sign, Ed, said find a way to win. That's all that Richmond supporters want.
That's it, yes. Be in front at the end of the game will do them just nicely at the minute. Well, they got in front at half-time. The Blues got off to a good lead there, 11 points up at one stage. In fact, 12 points up. But it's Richmond who lead by 7 points when we return after this.
Tigers, Blues.
Players back on the ground at the MCG. Dermot, Jono and Sellers quickly. The Tigers have hit the front. Can they go on with it from here?
They certainly can. Stick to the process and be ruthless.
Got to move the ball quick, Ed, especially our defence. Take the game on, be bold.
And Rance has been a stalwart down back, sensational. The defence is held together by him.
Is there any hope for your old side?
Oh, yes, there surely is some hope, but they looked a bit tired towards the end of that quarter.
All right, boys, well, let's go back to the MCG. We're nearly ready for a start in this second half. Both teams now moving back into position. Patrick Cripps has been magnificent tonight. He has released Mark Murphy to be able to chase some ball and get away. And
like Chris Judd used to do.
Yeah.
Murphy could play on the outside, Judd could get the ball in the middle. We'll be hoping Cripps could be half as good as Chris Judd.
Bryce Gibbs gave away a couple of 50-metre penalties, resulted in a goal.
7 clearances from Cripps at half-time. That's huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Cochin back into the centre, obviously. So they've put the all-star cast in the Blues. They've got Cruiser in the ruck. They've got Cripps there. They've got Bryce Gibbs. So they're going to throw everything at it in this opening couple of minutes of this third term. We're ready to go at the MCG. It's the Tigers leading by 7 points.
How will Richmond respond now? They should power away in this third quarter if they're the team we think they are.
We're about to find out. This is Kerridge. Beats his own man. Kicks it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air. Casbolt got hands to it. Rance, who's been superb. Asprey's been good. Ellis gave it to Lambert, to Hurley. Lambert. Braden Ellis, very quiet in the first half. Sends it down towards half forward. Poor kick, though. And Wiedering. Good anticipation.
East West.
He'll take that mark. He reacted quickly. Number 1 draft pick in last season's draft. Then sends a high ball down towards half forward and in from the side, Hurley.
Good mark, wasn't it, against the bigger man. Been a fantastic player for the Tigers. 55th consecutive match. So there he is again.
Well, for a young man to do that in your first game, that's just really good use of the body.
So the youngest to the oldest, as far as the Blues are concerned tonight. Simpson to Rowe to Doherty. Murphy's on a long lead, but I don't think he's going to get to him.
Move it on. Play on. Yours.
Cruiser the target. He just has to wait. Did well, Cruiser, and did very well in the end. And then Doherty, look away, Simpson, Doherty. Murphy will get on the end of this now from Gibbs. It was great running. How about this for a goal? Well set up was this. And Cripps bangs it home. Gut running from Murphy, eh? Just gut running from the skipper.
Say before half-time that it depended very much on how long he could run. Well, he's showing no signs of slowing down as Mark Murphy didn't play a game in the pre-season. Obviously, it's overrated.
We were worried about Carlton's ability to score tonight, but with passages of play like this, it's just sensational. Linking up with handballs, the skipper Mark Murphy with the hard running, and again, Duck, as you called, getting out the back. Patrick Cripps, just so smart, easy goal.
Lambert out of the middle, drives it down towards half forward. Griffiths in the hands, is about 60 metres from goal.
Thank you.
There's a good block down there, getting Lloyd free. The kick goes in that direction. Getting in behind Lloyd is Revolt. Well, if that was thought out, it was pretty canny. Revolt's got the ball about 20 metres out from goal.
Yeah, you're right, Dennis. Really well thought out. There's a good block. And then Revolt came in behind. As you can see there, that's where the gap opened up. Really important. I think it was Jamison that probably got caught player watching rather than stand in that hole behind.
Revolt's first mark inside 50. Just to point the difference, Carlton with the opening goal. This to reply in kind, and Jack does it, steers it through. Footy's back, look at that. Streets were abuzz on the way down to the MCG tonight. It's all part of the fervour. Jack set for another big season. And the Tigers expected to build on last year. 3 disappointing campaigns now. They need to do better. They know that.
Jack's 100th game of the MCG.
And the footy, boys.
To 27 goals now here at the Cathedral. Ball coming back. So can Carlton keep up? That's the big question here. That ruthless edge you talked about pre-matchling. You know, let's see if the Tigers have got it.
They just can't let them keep up. They just got to find a way, Richmond.
So Kerridge, off balance, gets it to half forward, right. Vlostone getting back. Dangerous kick. Well done from Lamb. Now Gibbs had a very, very good first half. Spocker's got it. Just a hook. And a behind. He's been busy enough.
Yep.
There's a lot talked about him last year. Dennis, you would know him from Western Australia, but he was the sort of their first pick, and a lot of people queried it, but like what I've seen.
At your age. I think from Swan Districts, should know that, but he was their best first-year player last year for Carlton. Hooley drives it outside the 50, over the top row. Behind, Tui. Rants full-bloodedly, gets across, takes the mark. To the pocket, Vlostone. More responsibility as a key defender this season, sends it out wide. Keeping it in, doing nicely. Lloyd makes it difficult for his teammate in front down there, Lambert, but it came back to him. And now Edwards is free. Edwards looks inside the forward 50. Griffiths backing back, and the man coming at him lost sight of the footy. And now Griffiths goes to Menadue, who'll kick his second. Griffiths was outnumbered initially inside that forward 50, but it didn't matter. The defenders were well spread, and he simply came back to the ball. The man in front of him panicked a little, and once you do that and sort of take your eyes off the footy, bad things happen.
He's a sub in 4 of the 5 games he played manager last year, so getting a chance here with a couple of goals.
Just a great example here of keeping your eyes on the footy. That's what Griffiths did, and you can see him just duck inside until he takes his eye off it. But more importantly, turned around quickly. He's 30 metres out, looks up, there's a player free.
So Edwards involved again, duck, and running hard and kicking to fall forward in a one-on-one maybe. Couldn't quite land it. So the Tigers now up and roaring, aren't they? Big crowd, terrific night for football. Carlton have impressed us all, but now they're really being challenged. Cripps. Well, first time he's really been brought down. That's a good tackle.
It was a good tackle. Just kept fighting to get that one arm down so he couldn't get the two hands free and give the handball off. Well done by Miles.
And then Miles finds and delivers. So young Rioli. So Mum and Dad, they flew from the Tiwi Islands of a light plane to Darwin. Talking about Bradley and Belinda Rioli. Then from Darwin to Cairns. And then from Cairns to Melbourne. And they're here tonight with another brother and sister. So let's see if he's got the length here. It's a good kick. He's just hurled the line in behind. But he looks like he belongs, doesn't he?
Certainly had the length there too, Bruce. So 50's not a concern for him.
Tiwi Islands had their grand final last weekend. Rollicking affair as always. Close to the boundary line. Jamison does nicely. Wiedering right on the defensive 50. So Carlton just dropping off the pace a little now. It's the kick around the outer side. Getting high. The mark is taken by Casbolt. Casbolt in front of Asprey, who's done a good job. Casbolt goes short to Kerridge. A lot of the football, his kicking hasn't been terrific tonight.
If Carlton get it in quickly here, you got Cripps and Hampson inside 50. They're a bit of a mismatch there.
Tigers' biggest lead of the night right here. There goes Kerridge. Down towards half forward. Casbolt again. He kicked it to Kerridge. He'd moved on in life. Taken by Asprey. Grimes. Rance in the back pocket. Waits for Grimes. Composure there. Hampson. Good run from Ellis. That's Brandon Ellis. Drives it outside the defensive 50. Minajus in front. Curnow carried him under the ball. Everett slips a hand pass away. Simpson comes to Rowe. Men on in the middle. Choice of a couple. Well, that was the wrong man who called Phillips out there. It was Buckley. He should have just stopped and kept Rance out. Rance gave a contest and the moment was gone.
Perfectly cool, Daniel. Spot on. They're in such a good position there, the Blues. Ellis able to get onto that left foot. Griffiths has been a target through this quarter and he's got such a long leg. This is danger for Carlton. Kicks to fall forward. Interference. Free kick. Is it the advantage? Rioli's taking the advantage and hit the post.
Thank you. Thank you.
Revolt had earned the free kick.
Little lesson there for Daniel Rioli. You don't take the advantage unless you're running into an absolute certain open goal. The team may go back and have the set shot.
To give a Rioli a spray even in his first match.
I think he'll kick plenty of those, Lingy, in his career.
Graham puts it out of bounds on the full. So Carlton need to be very careful here now. He knows that.
Quickly.
Just had to go the drop punt there, I think, too. Rioli, Duck, you're a big fan of just kicking the drop punt there.
Yep. Could have run in a little bit further too.
Martin got it from Grimes to half forward. This is Miles, and suddenly they're picking the Blues apart. Miles looking inside the forward 50. Forced to kick a high ball. That was good pressure. Revolt comes strongly. So did Phillips. Fell in front. Lambert trying to get out of there. About 4 times he ducked and weaved. But eventually he's paid the price, holding the footy.
Hold there.
So Lambert gives up the free. Graham quickly moves the ball out to Murphy. Murphy has played a terrific game. Short one to Gibbs. He's been good too. Started brilliantly. 11 possessions in the opening term.
Back into the centre to Graham. So big challenge for Carlton now. Let's see how they respond. Simpson, they've got a good chance here. Curnow's been terrific. Duck talked about his role at half-time. And then Curnow with an average-looking kick, though. Rance was sort of looking the wrong way, and Walker was able to come in late. And a boundary throw. And they've got a stoppage inside the forward 50. Cripps can be dangerous here.
In front, Hampson. Well done. Through the legs, though, of McIntosh. Lambert in the thick of it again. Blosstone. Heard the umpire. Touch ball. Doherty knew that. Punches it back inside the 50. Kerridge had it, lost it. Tui, clever kick again. He's the master of the clever kick. Should take the patent. Right, just gets it home. Needed that one. 94 games for the Crows. Started well. He's been very handy tonight, doing exactly what they need him to do. And he pulls it back to 9 points. You can see there's a lot of self-belief in this group. They've been challenged, and the Tigers worked their way on top. But Carlton have come back strongly, so the recipe seems to be working.
As you called, Dennis, just a clever bit of play from Zach Tui there. Vision was good. Again, able to hit the target. A nice finish. Carlton needed that one. Richmond had just got a bit of a roll going. They're staying in touch. Good competitive game of footy.
Tui's vision just outstanding a couple of times tonight. So Tigers out of the centre. White with a long ball to half forward. Lamb held on to Morris. Haven't caught him much. Lamb and Morris together, and it'll be a stoppage at half forward for the Blues. Fascinating to see what sort of score Carlton can sort of average this year. I mean, 10 goals a match basically last year, 69 points in total. So Doherty arched the back, did well. Ran hard, got it from Murphy, put his man under pressure. Still ball in, worked it well. Curnow just was a bit slippery for him from Everett. And a ball in. Carlton getting it almost to the 50. Ball staying in. Just off the boot. So the Blues pressing here.
Phillips pumps it inside the 50. First to the footy is Ellis. Coughs it up though. Kerridge sold a teammate into trouble. Curnow having a good turn, but this time he may pay the price. No, umpire says he'll do him.
Prior opportunity and made an attempt.
Miles not happy. Curnow's been good. Shutdown job early. The Tigers skipper. Cripps again, in and under. This one bouncing. I presume it's been touched. It goes wide anyway. So behind. 8 points the margin. Brandt's wasting no time. That's a good kick. Corey Ellis takes the mark. He's a right half back. Not much to choose up ahead. So he's waiting. Now running across is Martin. Not a bad option in this situation. Will he get to the contest? No, it fell in front. Now he's in the contest. Goes after the footy. Oh, well done, Wiedering. Stepped around a very good player. Kicks inside the forward 50, half volleyed. Grimes couldn't control it. Cochin does.
Gee, was good there, Wiedering, wasn't it? Back to White. To Rowe. And then back to Wiedering, the 18-year-old. Jamison. And they're lookalikes in a way, aren't they? Even one's played so much footy and so much older. Kerridge on the end of that from Doherty. So what's Kerridge had tonight? He's been busy. Just the 12. Thought he might have had a little more than that. They work it okay. I think Curnow got in at the right time because it was too far for Murphy. Phillips, the big ruckman. Can he deliver? He does. To Cruiser. Next goal huge here for both teams. So what does Cruiser do? Does he go long or is he going to try and set it up? It's a neat kick to Casbolt, and Dimmer's going to be disappointed. He was on his own for a long time.
He was, and I'm trying to work out how exactly he got so free, Duckett. Just here, I don't know if his Richmond opponent loses him. He just left him standing 20 metres out from goal, as simple as you like. You love that as a forward.
They got attracted to movement. There were other players moving. Richmond defenders went and just left Casbolt there.
Check side kick. Does he get it right? No.
I think he was making his mind up as he was walking in what sort of kick he was going to do there.
I reckon you're right, Dave.
Dropped punt, and then I thought, oh, I'll try a check side. See, now there's the problem with his kicking. The hand comes away from the ball far too early. That hand has to stay on the footy and be closer to his boot.
Asprey out of the back pocket. Vickery's in front. Cruiser intent on destruction. Thumps it back inside the 50. Hacked out of there by Hooley. It's straight onto the chest of Rowe. Gets it off quickly. Tui has been dangerous in this situation tonight. Under pressure this time. Sends a high ball inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Phillips. And Cruiser did some good work in mid-air there. Just cleared a bit of room for Phillips to come back. So Phillips is directly in front.
Well, that's almost the toughest mark to take in footy. Backing back, under pressure, pack coming down on you. And to keep your eyes on the footy and execute the skill. Terrific. Good reach.
And Carlton have always felt that he was able to get forward and take a mark. Well, didn't see it a lot through the NAB challenge, but that's got to lift his confidence.
Young Tasmanian, drafted by the Giants in 2010. Important kick here for his new club, and he puts it through. They won't go away.
If only Casbolt could run in and kick like that. I mean, that's been hard on Levi, I know, but that was just a lovely kick.
And that's telling. We'll get more on this in a moment. Alex Rance coming off the ground, took himself off. Wow.
Well, here's what you're talking about, Doug. Our spy cam tonight. The ball drop a long way off the boot there.
And then just throws the foot at it.
Yeah, just too much room for error. That's why he sprayed it a little bit. He is improving, though. Give him credit. He's improving and working on it.
Rance has taken himself off here, too. It looks like he might have a thigh injury. Matty will get down to you in a minute. So Carlton have come back strongly here within a kick. Game up for grabs. Griffiths, great tackle. Time from right. Graham, they arch their back again. Doherty to right, spreads it to his old teammate and Kerridge. Kerridge goes to the pocket. Oh, Walker takes a beauty, a one-hander. So there's Rance. That's the big story right now.
Yeah, well, when Phillips kicked that goal, so we have a look at that terrific one-handed mark from Walker. That's just too good. Phillips kicked that goal. Rance came immediately from the ground. Looks like the inside of his left knee that he was rubbing. I think he's going to be okay. He's just going to run around the boundary now as Walker comes in.
Well, we've had 8 individual goal kickers. This to put the Blues back in front. They've done it. Gee, what a change in the last 10 minutes. I mean, you felt like Richmond sort of had them where they wanted them, didn't you?
Yep. Once again, it was that link-up handball from the centre of the ground. Quick handball. Handballs to the advantage of your teammate. The game continues to flow. Gets to a one-on-one. And a freakish mark.
Well, as Alex Rance runs back onto the ground, Shane Edwards has come off, and he's got a problem with his right hand. You can see the doc there, Greg Hickey and physio Anthony Shack working on it. I think they're taping it up. He'll probably come back on, but he was in a fair amount of pain as he came off the ground.
Carlton lead by 4 points. Townsend off balance, taken down by Gibbs. Brandon Ellis. Hooley has to align himself with that left foot. As a result, untidy hand pass. Boakhorst gets it across to Graham. Graham thumps it in. Walker in front. Big leap at the back. Runs free though for Wright. Wright kicks the goal. Grimes needed to punch it. He's got 2 right. How about this? What a swing in the game. He's been very, very good tonight, Matthew Wright. Johnny on the spot, but Grimes drawn under the ball by the man in front of him misjudging it. And Wright arrived quickly, under no real pressure.
Well, this has been the hallmark of their game so far. Chase and tackle by Buckley, strong in the contest, and then that chain out of handball. In quickly, Grimes missed it, let it get over the back. Well finished by Wright. This has been a huge effort by the Blues. Richmond have got to do something.
3 goals in 3 minutes for Carlton. 4 in 9. Bockhorst. 55 metres out, looks up, kicks to the pocket. Vlostone, Everett lurking, and the ball out in the boundary throw-in. When Rioli dribbled the behind, Revolt put them 15 points in front. If Jack had the free kick the goal, they would have been 20 points up, Richmond. So in the last 9 minutes, Carlton have kicked 4 goals and have got the lead back. A 10-point margin. Big swing around here. Phillips. Hampson won the tap. Ball knocked out. Hurley, McIntosh, slugs it away, Gibbs waited. Well done there by Menadue, did very well. Got it to Lambert. Lambert kicks to centre wing. G. Lloyd read it best. So the Tigers
play on.
Being challenged hard here, Lambert. You almost feel, guys, that Carlton are now at the stage where they're not going to go away. You feel like you get to a match and if you can get to a certain point, they're going to hang around for the rest of the game.
They've got belief now, Carlton. It's going to be hard work for Richmond, but
and they've got more energy, Lingy, at ground level. Their run and link up with hands is a lot better than Richmond's.
So Townsend, but here's a good mark by Vickery.
I posed the question before the game, has Richmond developed that ruthless edge? Well, the next 5 minutes of this third quarter is going to show it to me and give a big answer to that. Because if Richmond can weather the storm that Carlton have thrown at them, and they can just finish this quarter off big, get the scores back level or just in front and go away with it, then they're developing it. But this quarter and this little patch just hasn't been good enough by the Tigers. Credit to Carlton, but not good enough by Richmond.
Once before he's kicked 4 goals against the Blues. That one not coming back enough. So he's missed a couple, Vickery. He's had 3 goals, 2 tonight.
I think what's been most impressive is how Carlton have done it, in the manner that how they've done it. I mean, just the ball movement, the quick hands through the middle of the ground, the speed of ball movement.
As Doherty to himself plays on now, loops a hand pass to White. They've got the confidence to use the ball coming out. Boakhorst across half back. Thought about the hand pass, hasn't played on yet. Now he goes short with precision. Here's Wright, centre half back across the ground. Simpson had to wait. Well done by Menadue. Picks the footy up. Knew where the help was. Got it to Vickery. Sweeping hand pass inside the centre square. Cochin, Martin, impossible to pull him down. 60 metres out from goal. Skids towards Ellis. Ellis turns around. Corey Ellis. And he snaps a goal. A seesawing affair. It's back to 3 points.
Just I reckon a poor decision by Wright there. I mean, the ball just hung too long for Simpson, didn't it?
Yeah. Still, they're trying things, aren't they? And I mean, they're not going to win the premiership. They know that. Just got to sort of fine-tune things. But we saw a lot of Carlton last year. They're playing well tonight.
You see there, Dusty Martin, just once again, so hard to tackle, just the fend off. Wasn't a great kick, but it was to his teammates' advantage, and that's all it has to be.
And one of the youngsters finishing it off, so Tigers come back. Phillips over the top. Gibbs, good tackle from Townsend, another good tackle from Lambert.
Because you must be 1 metre, please. Thank you. Straight back.
What a terrific game we've seen here to start the season. Gibbs wide to Murphy to Cripps. Those 3 in the same sentence, eh? To Wheatley, those 4. And then Tui to Graham. Had a good pre-season, Graham. Big season for him, full stop, to establish himself as a regular player, to have that confidence that he's in the team every week. Kicks to half forward. Phillips caught underneath it. Morris pushed in the back. Hooley had it smothered. Ball doesn't get far. Murphy onto it.
Looping hand pass over the top. Brandon Ellis, strong tackle, got him down, but not before he hand passed to Blostone. Hooley played it pretty well in the end after a fumble. Cochin, high ball over the top. Asprey. Phillips knocked it down in front, sheltered it for a moment. Boakhorst goes after it, and he's pushed across the boundary line.
It's just so obvious their pressure is so much better from what we've seen last year from Carlton. They just keep harassing Richmond, keep forcing them to make decisions and turn it over.
Fair to say we're experts on Carlton. 6 Friday night games last season. We know a bit about them. Ball's gone out of bounds again, and I doubt we've seen them put together 3 quarters like this. Certainly in most of those 6 games. I can't remember. I might be proved wrong, but they've been dazzling tonight at times, just prepared to take chances.
Murphy sucking in the big ones a moment ago. Rock talked about his pre-season. Cripps getting back. He's been great tonight, Murphy. Speak of him. Keeps the ball in, gets it to about 40 metres. Casbolt presents. Cochin getting back deep. Gets the ball as far as he can. So get over the back, not quite. Carlton with the numbers. Simpson, Curnow in tight space. Well played by Edwards back on the ground. Talked about the hand injury. Doherty just had to fish a bit, but they get it back to Rowe. Now the angle for Rowe was a little bit difficult, but back they go to Jamison. Jamison with a long leg out wide, so Carlton take it from one side to another. Murphy again. And then little one.
It's the only worry with Mark Murphy, isn't it? Just his lack of match conditioning. Can he finish this game off as well as he's played his first 3 quarters? If he can, well, Carlton can win this. I never thought I'd be saying it. They can certainly win it.
Carlton lead by 3 points at the moment. Tui, long leg to Kerridge. Kerridge is about 75 metres from goal. Goes wide, looking for distance here. They'll compete about 20 metres out. Phillips is in that pack, and what a mark, well, almost. Casbolt had it, didn't take it to the ground, didn't stick the landing. Asprey couldn't get through the pack, and Wright didn't have the footing. It's been taken high. And will shoot it goal to add to their lead from about 20 metres out. He's really had an impact tonight.
Free kick here in low and hard.
Around. Thank you.
It's not ducking when you're overwinning the footy. That's different from picking the ball up and driving ahead. That's somebody prepared to go low and hard and win the hard contest through the free kick. Wow, this is a huge kick.
Stretch it to 9. Approaching 3/4 time. He's been terrific. He's got 3 goals.
Who's got it?
All in this 3rd quarter.
Keep talking, boss.
So, we've talked a lot about who they've brought into the club and why they might have. Played a lot of footy at Adelaide, even last year. He's the one player that they've brought in that's had some experience, that actually played a fair bit of footy at this level last year. And he's done what he does best tonight, forward pressure and kick some goals.
Here's that free kick. You're allowed to get over and win the footy. In the end, the tackle was just too high. That's fair, isn't it, Duck? You thought it was ducking?
Well, he had his head down. It's probably...
You've got to put your head down to win the ball.
True. A little bit lucky.
So in the last minute of the 3rd quarter, Carlton by a couple of kicks. Tigers forward, well done Wiedering, just tapped it forward. McIntosh held up well. Vickery, Martin, Ellis on the right side for him, a left foot. Gets it to full forward. Well done getting back there was Simpson. He is so courageous. Graham, decision making important here. Goes to Simpson. They run it out, Carlton. They did it pretty well. Floating kick coming out from Tui. Mark taken by Wiedering.
He wasn't overawed by the Richmond captain, Cochin. Obviously has him in size, but did it easy.
Kerridge to Cripps. So maybe the Blues, at the time you can see, is probably going to beat everyone. What a great quarter of footy we've seen. I mean, Richmond made the running. Looked like they'd have a good lead at 3/4 time, but it's Carlton that lead at 3/4 time. It could not be better set up on this Thursday night to start the 2016 season. It's the Blues, the Wooden Spooners from last year, leading the finalists from the last 3 years, 75-66.
Friday night footy. I love Friday night football. Friday night footy is almost as close as you can get to a final. You're on the big stage, you've got to play well, everybody's watching.
It's a big fixture, we usually get a big crowd in.
The atmosphere and the feeling of playing in a Friday night footy, it's the big show. It's the big players and big game performers that play really well on those big nights.
And the pump up is just all about Friday night, especially in Melbourne at the G. There's no better feeling than playing on the lights on Friday night footy.
That have an incredible rivalry back in the 80s. They used to pinch one another's players. They played a famous grand final and they renew their rivalries next Friday night. Looking at those old woolen jumpers, Collingwood and Richmond. That is going to be something here at the MCG. Can't wait for that. But we've got a beauty here, Richo, at three-quarter time.
Yeah, we have. And this is interesting. Brendan Bolton spoke to the guys for a while. Then he got them in that circle there and gave them one last final message. Look, they've been outstanding tonight. Their defensive pressure all over the ground has made Richmond cough it up. They haven't had control of the game at all, I don't think, tonight. It's been led by Patrick Cripps. 15 contested possessions, 10 clearances. He is an outstanding player for someone so young. And don't forget Mark Murphy. Didn't play a pre-season game. He's come out here and led from the front tonight with his energy and run across the ground. It's going to take a pretty special effort now from Richmond to overtake these Blues. They look like they had strong belief at that huddle at three-quarter time. Let's see if Lingy's question can be answered in this last quarter. Have Richmond got the ability to have a bit of killer instinct in this last quarter?
And they didn't play in the pre-season. Some effort. Mark Murphy. Cochin's gone to the forward line. Spent the last few minutes of the third term on the bench. So away we go. Carlton. Can they win this from here? Martin to Lambert. They take it quickly out of the middle. Lloyd pushing up the ground. Right half forward. Vickery goes to the pocket. Lloyd delays. Now he goes for distance. Well, plenty of Carlton players there. Jamison came over the top, knocked it down. Cochin crumbed it. Jamison deflects it across towards Wiedering. Tui goes back to Simpson. Well worked, although the kick not flash. Doherty improvising. This will be close. Well, it pitches a couple of metres in from the boundary. Boakhurst did well. Picked up by Casbolt, if you don't mind. Gives it to Doherty. Doherty spots a man on the move. Guess who? Murphy to the middle and Cruiser. Runners alongside. Take your pick. Gives it to Gibbs. On the burst is Kerridge. Now he can run inside 50. He can measure the kick and he can kick a big goal. He did none of that. He bounces it down towards full forward. Rance gives a hand pass across to McIntosh. McIntosh kicks towards the outer side. Back come the Tigers.
Gee, what a disappointing finish. Such a setup. Asprey. Tui getting across. Just for the record, Lingy. And interchanges 59 for Richmond at three-quarter time, 64 for Carlton. Way down on what obviously we would have said at this time last year.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. And that'll have an impact. We've already touched on Mark Murphy's lack of match practice, but well, these guys are going to have to be fit, work hard.
Bokhurst, and he's got it, Levi. Gee, it was a good kick. Is this the zoning, the fact that he's got space, do you think?
Absolutely. They're protecting space. Levi, well, he didn't really lead, did he? He just stood there and he got the mismatch. He's just, you can see there's no lead there. He's just standing in space and he's just so good above his head. And we've spoken about his kicking.
The best mark in the opposition forward line. Shouldn't be able to stand there, though, with no body pressure when the ball's been delivered inside 50 from a set kick, though.
Yeah, you're right, Richo. He's been a target all night.
Hasn't been able to nail a goal yet. It becomes a liability when you can't hammer them home at this point.
I think we've got a factor in the interchange too, helping to make this game such a good spectacle. I reckon 75 might be the optimum number. Out of defence, Blostone kicks it just outside the 50. Miniju takes the mark. 3-1 in game. Players finding space. And the champions allowed to be champions. Miniju back towards the middle. Blostone wants to go. A couple to choose from on the outer side. Hooley is the widest. He'll want his left peg though. Well, Graham did okay on the mark. Hooley kicks it high as a result. In front, Ellis. Good grab. Defensive side of right centre wing. Just takes some of the sting out of the game. Goes back to Blostone. Now to the middle. Hooley's pushed up. Bit of a fumble. Finds it on the deck. Ellis breaks for him. Did nicely. Not 15. Martin couldn't take the mark. Back with Ellis again. Working double time. Townsend gathers the bouncing footy. Turns around and spots Lambert inside the forward 50. He's got a pretty good leg. He could score from here.
Well, Lambert just kept on running when he assumed that Dustin Martin was going to take that mark comfortably uncontested and wheel and go. He kept on heading forward.
15 gone.
And Richmond's ability to win the 50-50 ball meant that he was by himself inside forward 50.
The more interchange make it harder for players in this situation to A, get the distance, and I suppose B, get it on line. They get a little more tired. The ball's out of bounds in the pocket.
Kicked a goal early in the match, Lambert. In fact, the opening goal of the season. Cruiser, Griffiths with the headgear off. Edwards, that ball looked as if it was out. Obviously wasn't. Hooked back by Townsend. Griffiths gets a free.
Hampson.
Oh, Hampson, sorry. No wonder he had the headgear off.
Right in front.
Well, that's fair enough. Eyes not on the footy by Matty Cruiser. You can't do that.
Hasn't had a kick tonight, Doug.
No.
He's had 5 handballs and a chance here against the old team. Oh, gee, there's been a couple of big misses in this last quarter.
One each, Casbolt and now Hampson. 2 bad misses. I suppose they do cancel each other out. We're back to game on, but bad kicking for goal.
Margin 9 points. Cripps characteristically over the top. Gibbs. They move it quickly again. Casbolt leads back in the race. Grimes is the quicker man though. Paddles it to his own advantage. Now this will be interesting. Deliberate was paid. Lamb wants to go, wasting no time. Breaks to about 70 metres from goal. Now straddling the line is Walker, not good enough. Out of bounds on the full.
Thanks, Alex. Alex, hop out, mate.
Well, that's pretty severe, but that's what it is.
It's the one. It's just that last touch, isn't it? Somehow they've got to disguise it better. Almost let it go, shepherd it out.
Hampson, Townsend, Miles run down by Curnow. Ellis, Martin arching that back, opening it up. Lambert, but he can see the goals in front of him. Oh, did well, Lambert. He held his ground. Revolt then misses the target. Rioli has to get back. Little kick from Edwards to full forwards of beauty. And Jackson a spot here to kick his second and bring Richmond back within a kick.
Well done, Jack, because he missed the target. It was a bad handball, but he stayed in. He kept reading the play, kept drifting forward, and in the end got an uncontested mark. So didn't get down on himself for missing the handball. Stayed in it.
Thanks, Kate.
Well, we've seen a couple of horrible misses in the last quarter, but you'd expect him to goal here. He's so accurate from these positions. Never going to miss. Splits the middle. Gets his second. Tigers close.
Just have to use him more. He's got to be the go-to man.
To get a split screen of this man and Casbolt and have a look at the differences between. Look at that, over the footy, eyes on it, the ball drop, perfect onto the boot.
Carlton lead by 3 points. Phillips decisively down to Gibbs. Curnow hurriedly to half forward. On the stretch, McIntosh plays on immediately. Searing kick down towards half forward. Lambert clears the mark quickly, gets back and finds a man on the move. That was good footy by both parties. Townsend's got it. That's not a good kick. Straight to Simpson in the back pocket. Still a long way to go in this one. And Simpson just settling it down. Part of a beleaguered defence last season. They're done enjoying this one so far. Can they hang on? Casbolt in front. Rance played it pretty well. Edged him out. And Asprey took the mark. So Asprey forward of the wing. Sends a high one, a very high one. This should be destroyed by the Carlton defence. Wiedering was the player in front who got the crumb. Charging through was White. Missed him. And again, Lloyd gets free. Beat 2 men and kicks the goal. And the Tigers lead. Well, how about that? They've surged again, Richmond. And this guy knows how to kick a goal.
That's what he's there for, Dennis. Very clever around the goals. Doesn't need too many opportunities.
He's an interesting player, Duck, isn't he?
Yeah. He's had the 11 possessions, kicked the 1 goal.
Brilliant footy here by Sam Lloyd. Look at that move. Great spin on the skipper, Mark Murphy, on the left foot. Fantastic finish by the Tiger forward. Goal of game last year. Huge goal, that one.
That's for sure. Interesting journey to get to this level as well. Carlton, good kick. Up and about. Lambert's been pretty important. Edwards backtracks to Lambert again. Looked up, kicks to the half forward. Revolt. Still with Jack. He's kicked a couple and he's just sprayed it. And missed. Richmond surging hard here. Lloyd, Deniliquin, Geelong, Grammar, Frankston. He's a mature age, 66 pick, I think, about 3 years ago. But he's an interesting player. A good man to have in your team.
Some of these players gasping for air now. Doherty comes short. Graham up from the back pocket. Tigers lead by 4 points. Dangerous pass, but made to look okay by Lamb, running hard. Not much gained. Doherty started this from the goal square. Graham moving for him now. This is an attacking run. Should have kept going. Hesitated. Now he goes. Everett, man over the top is Boakhurst, but Everett dropped the mark, and Rance doesn't need a second chance. Dived on top there. Bit unfortunate not to get the free, Rance. Ball up. Forward end of the square for Carlton.
Certain goal.
Yeah.
Not missing.
Curnow. Gibbs, nicely done. Got some space on it. Kerridge on the overlap. Doherty met hard. Kick wanders down towards the pocket. Walker claims he wants a free kick. Needs a free kick. Not forthcoming.
Can Carlton find their run again now? Richmond is suddenly getting a lot of handball receives. That was a feature of Carlton's game for most of this match. But just then, Doherty gets the handball receive off half back. It breaks the game open.
Hampson wins the tap. Ellis. Cochin to Edwards. Advantage paid. Cochin was held on to Rioli. Gives it to Ellis, and then Ellis goes wide. Lambert's had a good last quarter. Pushing hard and wide Asprey. Tigers lead it 80-76. 7 changes of lead tonight. Rance forever the general. At the peak of his powers to Grimes. To McIntosh. Morris on the end of it. Now Martin probably on the end of this.
Sweeping hand pass out wide. Ball's in good hands, although not much happens that time. Hooley's got it though. Even the left foot has helped in this situation with that protected area, but he kicks over the man on the mark inside the forward 50. Could have been a push in the back down there to Revolt. Nothing doing. Doherty tries to slap it out. Succeeded. Simpson. Little short one in front. Tui had to wait too long. And closing Hooley thumped it out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. Left half forward. Tigers attacking.
Spoken so much about Murphy in this game. He's been super, but only had the 1 possession in this last quarter. Maybe that fitness and not playing a pre-season game has caught up a little.
Improvising Martin, poked it out of mid-air. Lambert, 14th possession, flings it across towards Lloyd, and Lloyd will kick another. Hang on.
Umpire's call is a goal. Can we see if it was touched out the field?
We're underway.
Still hard to tell, isn't it?
Review complete. Umpire's call.
Umpire's call is a goal.
So a couple of last quarter goals for Lloyd. He kicked 3 in his only other match against the Blues. And what about Lambert's final quarter? And he's been, in many ways, the match winner. other things have happened around him, I know.
Talking about Lloyd, Bruce, I mean, 6 times 3 goals in 21 games.
Yeah, no, he's a fascinating player, I reckon.
Little moments are crucial in these big last quarters. He's taken 2 of them. Everett drops that mark at centre forward. Carlton potential certain goal goes back the other way. Carlton have just got to make the most of every single moment. At the moment, it's Richmond who are doing it.
Well, Lambert's had 8 disposals in the final term. Cripps and Murphy, 2 between them. So those great players have slowed right up. Griffiths was clever. Revolt couldn't quite. And the Blues cannot afford another goal against them. They have been so good for so long tonight. Great smother. All happening for the Tigers. And Menadu's done his bit tonight with a couple of goals. See the dominance of the Tigers there in this last quarter.
They lead by 10. Griffiths and Cruiser. About 70 metres out from the Tigers' attacking goal at the second attempt. Griffiths knocked it on. Taken by Gibbs to Kerridge. Bearing down. A man you can't get past. You need him to tackle him. If that makes sense. He's a strong tackler and almost impossible to tackle, Dustin Martin. Townsend down to Miles. Hooks it back towards the middle. Doherty was in there, spilt the mark. Quick reflexes though. Jamison to Wiedering in the defensive goal square. Little chip to the pocket taken by Everett.
She dropped a mark early in this quarter, Everett, didn't it? It was vital. Here's Murphy. Quick look up. Good kick from Murphy to Buckley.
Pressure! Thank you.
And the Blues got one more surge in them. Feel like they might. Gibbs running hard. Kicks to half forward. Such an important contest. Casbolt, they've got the numbers here, Carlton. Casbolt, he's in trouble, but the ball came out. Vince was brilliant. That's why he's the All-Australian defender and one of the most important players in the game. But Carlton with a chance, in good hands with Tui, you'd think.
Marvellous again, Rance. There's Murphy, just forward of the wing. And Carlton trying for their moment in the sun now. It's been played that way tonight. Patches of brilliance for both teams. It's patches of dominance. Now a chance for Tui. Going back to Murphy. But that looks like they, at least for the moment, have run out of ideas. We'll get a boundary throw in.
At least Murphy played on inboard, got the handball to Tui. He's trying to create, he's trying to get something going instead of just going down the line.
Tigers by 10. Shallow throw in. That's Ruckman lunge at it, taken by Gibbs. Curnow, he's been good. Sends a high one down towards half forward, making it very difficult for Wright. Grimes coming over the top, and he thumps it out of bounds.
Carlton with an opportunity from the stoppage. 50 metres from goal. Phillips won it down. Townsend courageous. Miles courageous. Two of a kind a bit. Martin, so good in heavy traffic. And then a lovely little kick. All the brute force of Martin and then all the consummate skill in the one package. Revolt up the ground. Just buying a bit of time and then corralled a bit. And that ball belted over the line for a boundary throw-in. So just for the moment, Carlton stopped in their tracks at 11 goals. Kicked 76 points so far tonight. They averaged 69 for the season last year.
Griffiths in front, decisively, down to Revolt. Ellis, now Cochin, drives it towards the pocket. All Carlton down there. Everett was up, couldn't take the mark. Almost got a free and the ball runs out of bounds.
You got it? Yeah.
Tigers by 10.
Richmond have put a stop to Cripps at this stage. Only one touch this quarter.
Some of those good players in the Carlton team carried a heavy load in the first half and paying for it now. Cruiser's kick goes out of bounds on the full.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Hooley. About 60 metres out. He's going for distance. Taking something off it though. Setting it up about 20 metres out. Off hands. Chance for Tui. Still going Tui. Back to the goal square. Everett. They decide to take a risk. Fumble from Doherty. He's got 3 for company. All of them Tigers. Make that 4. Picked up by Griffiths. Gave it across to Martin. Beat 1. Beat 2. Needs a goal. Snaps it back towards full forward. It won't be that. but off hands and out of bounds. It's a stoppage for the Tigers deep in their attacking zone, and that was a virtuoso performance by that tough hombre.
It looked like Lee Matthews for a minute there. Just with the chest out and he just bounced off blokes.
Bit of Mark Prosciutto about him as well. He's just so strong.
Dismisses opponents.
Hope Lethal still talks to me. Cruiser working hard, getting the ball hopefully to the line. This will be an interesting call from the umpire.
Did he touch the ball before it went out? Still there, Brett.
You just can't argue, can you? Because we know.
Well, much stronger interpretation. If you kick the ball to the boundary and it goes out, it's going to be paid.
Well, the SANFL this year are playing that. The last person touching it, obviously, with a handball or a kick, and it feels like that here tonight as Richmond can nearly finish it off here.
Well, big call on the boundary in the context of the game.
Left non-preferred, under pressure. Tough call.
Carlton!
It's going to be a free kick to Carlton down there after all of that. Taken by Everett in the back pocket. Not sure what happened there. We were back at the boundary line. Here's Jamison. Feigns a hand pass. Any idea what happened, Bruce?
I'm not sure. Jack obviously didn't have a shot, which I can't believe.
There's Tui. Oh, and he's taken down. Shades of the WWE. Little Lambert produced a great tackle and just grabbed a foreign object. Took Tui to the turf.
Big last quarter from Kane Lambert. You mentioned those possessions before, Bruce, but that tackle, as important as all of those touches.
They were out down the ground too, Lingy. There was a loose number forward of the footy for Carlton. A really important tackle.
And Matty, we had our eye off Jack a moment ago. Did he short pass or not?
No, he played on, tried to wheel it around the corner, got the middle of the ball, and then Dustin Martin gave a free kick away in the pocket.
Thank God someone's watching.
Yeah, in the future, Richo, just
don't
pick
worry,
up the commentary.
I am watching. Very closely, boys.
You're feeling more comfortable or not?
No, I'm as anxious as any man's ever been down there.
Lambert's been good since half-time. Prime mover, boundary throw-in, Hampson. Cruiser comes from behind. Hampson won it cleanly. Lloyd pushes off, does well. Can he kick his third? Dangerous kick, but getting back, it's Everett. Time of the essence now. Carlton need to go. Here's Simpson. Simpson, the short one out wide. Wiedering. He's made a pretty good debut. Told to go. Kerridge. He's marked it. Left half back. 10 points the margin. Tigers lead. Kerridge makes a blue. Kicked it straight to Miniju. Miniju to Miles. Miles goes long and splits the middle. Well, that could just about be it. There's still time, but everything would need to go right now for Carlton. First things first, they'll need a quick goal back out of the middle. 16 points the difference. And it's been a beaut game of football.
For sure, Jen. Has Miles done the job on Cripps in the last quarter? I'm not sure, but...
Little moments of the key, just to the awareness to turn around, smother, give off the handball. Beautiful finish. Well done, Richmond. They've responded. It's been a tough night for them. Probably done enough now.
So Gibbs missing. Simpson now has to fetch it again. Oh, gee, Lambert. I mean, we've talked a lot about his last quarter. Toe poking it away. Jamison. Back to Gibbs. Good tackle, Cotchin, but Gibbs able to get away. Cripps, Everett, Murphy, running hard, a running bounce. Needed a rear vision mirror, one on the side. Good kick though, out wide. Sets it up, Curnow. This is the important kick. Finds his target, Buckley. That one extra kick here now, Buckley. Does he just set it up? Does he try and find Casbolt? Forced to go now. No, coming back.
Has he kicked? Has he kicked?
I did. I blew the whistle. High tackle, mate. You got him high.
So Buckley to start again. To fall forward, Phillips underneath. Casbolt missed it, and Hampson takes the mark.
4.5 minutes, just a little under remaining in the contest. Hampson, kicks have been rare, puts this outside the defensive 50. Lost on, hard body in there. Edwards trying to get it out, didn't succeed. Good tackle by Revolt. All hands to the wheel.
He's played an important role in this last quarter, Jack. He's come up the ground, played on ball, got a couple of important touches.
Thrown up right on the 50 then. Gibbs looking for Murphy, couldn't get it there. Cochin close to the boundary, stays in. They're appealing for deliberate. Well, there's a key ingredient of that decision, of course. Wiedering gives a hand pass across to Rowe. Rowe back to Simpson. Men on around the outer side. They need a goal and they need it quickly. Everett moves it on down towards left half forward. Bokhorst. He's about 70 metres out. Sends it long. It's got some carry. All Carlton back there. Casbolt missed it. Loose ball at the back. Well played by Ellis. Socked away by Walker. And Walker runs it out of bounds, but that's not good enough. Well, he's riding every bump and every missed mark is sort of taking its toll. And that's a terrific attendance. Over 75,000, 3.5 minutes out, and they've seen a good game. At the moment, it looks like the Tigers.
Phillips and Hampson. Gee, what a good kick from Bokhorst a moment ago. Andrews' kick. Lloyd's been a star in the last quarter. Wiedering gets him down. White. Gibbs to search. Great play by Wiedering and White. And Gibbs, clever kick. Now Everett, does he take responsibility here? I think he's got the length.
He would with a fresh leg, Bruce, I agree. Definitely from there. See what the fatigue does to his kicking penetration.
31 goals last year. That's a good strike. It's a great goal. Carlton still with a little hope. Again, I mean, you look for Wiedering, he just competes very well, doesn't he?
He's very cool under pressure. Yeah. He doesn't panic at all and doesn't make too many mistakes.
They are still a chance here, though.
Oh, yeah.
One good break out of the centre. They're going to sweat on Cripps here, I reckon, Rich, because if he gets the ball, the Blues are a chance here.
10 points the margin. Carlton still very much alive. Need some clean ball here out of the middle. It's been their forte tonight. They've been able to move it quickly. It requires that now. Townsend had other ideas. Brilliant smother by Cripps on Lambert. Goes towards Simpson. Cripps could have been pushed in the back, no free. Simpson comes again. Emerges with the football. 1-on-1 inside the forward 50. Walker once, twice. Couldn't hang on. Asprey confronted by Bokhorst. Now it's gathered by Walker. Smothered off the boot by a desperate Ellis. Brandon Ellis throwing himself across the boot. And the ball spills out of bounds in that left full forward pocket. Spine-tingling stuff. Wonderful stuff by Ellis.
What about the contested footy down in the middle of the ground? It was fantastic, wasn't it? From both teams. Cripps was front and centre. Townsend's little kick. Cochin, Murphy, Ellis. Good tackle, Murphy. Wrapped him up, turned him around. And the ball up. So Carlton with time here. A goal here will put the wind up the Tigers, wouldn't it?
Got Cruiser forward, quick kick in. If they can get it there.
Cripps got a good handball away. Edwards, Gibbs, Edwards, Graham. Didn't take it cleanly. Paddles it. Kerridge held up pretty well. Graham slipped it out to Murphy. It was hot for Simpson. Kept his head over the ball. Free kick. Geez, Simpson so courageous there.
Got a spare forward if they can get it in quick.
You see a man on the outer side calling for the ball. It's not going in that direction, but short to Graham. Some tired players now as Graham pumps it inside the forward 50. Off hands at the back, it's taken by Ellis. Hand passes straight to Kerridge. Across it comes to Lamb. Pulls it back across his body. They need a mark. Big leap down there from Everett. Crumbed by the man you didn't want crumbing. That was Phillips. Over the football is Rance. The man you want over the football. And he gave it to Hurley, who clears it back inside the centre square. Just over a minute to go, and this young man, Wiedering, is going to drive it in again. It's been a good debut. Carlton on the attack.
To full forward, big flies from the side. Casbolt amongst them. Cruiser doing the roving. Lamb, Morris. Lamb kept it in. Ball still a fair way from goal. Great courage shown there by Edwards. Ball still in dispute. Cripps goes for goal. And not quite. That would have been something. Geez, a player. But we knew that.
Even able to stand up and get that kick away.
Wiedering standing under a high ball and taking a contested mark. Patrick Cripps.
That's their future right there.
A lot to be excited about if you're a Blues fan. Might not get the chocolates tonight, but a great future ahead.
Hurley, inside the defensive 50. Two tall men go at it and the ball just rolls out of bounds. Well, I think he can relax now, but what a test it's been for his men. They play on Friday night next week. Tossed in about 70 metres out from goal. Hampson got it down to Lambert. Cochin's quick kick over the shoulder. This won't be deliberate. Well, again, the requirement not met. Now the ball goes out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
Silly, I know it's a cliche. We feel like two winners tonight. I mean, Richmond will get the win.
Maybe
I think
three.
for Carlton supporters.
The AFL would interchange.
Yeah, well, it's been a great game. Big crowd. The perfect way on the field to start the year. Lambert's last quarter has been probably a match winner, to be honest. Rowe, one last maybe kick in the match. The Tigers win the opening game before 75,000 people, but the Blues have made a little bit of a mark here. Yep. It's those boys that win, but they were in a great contest.
Opposition, I think you'd say. Well, Rancy, that was a hard, tough contest against a really improved Carlton side tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that goes unnoticed is the fact that they've actually drafted some senior players like Righty, Lammy. They can all play footy and they're coached really well. So we definitely didn't underestimate them and they gave us our money's worth.
Absolutely. At three-quarter time, something had to happen. Was there anything that changed in your game plan, or what was the message from Damien Hardwood?
We just had to be a little bit cleaner at the contest. They were standing up and probably releasing a few handballs, and so we just needed to have a little bit of a harder edge.
What about Kane Lambert's last quarter? You'd be pleased to see a guy that's had to work hard to play AFL footy stand up, and I think he won you the game with some of his work there.
Yeah, absolutely. He always puts his nose to the wheel, and he really starts the contested work for us, bouncing off everyone. So it's really good to see.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
Could I just say one thing to Will Murray? Keep fighting, buddy. We're all thinking of you. Keep it up.
Well said. Thanks.
Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, well said and well played, as he so often does, doesn't he, Dennis? I mean, what a general he is back there.
Just a great player now. I touched on it before. He was for a long time Murray's son, but now Murray's his dad.
And would be very happy about all that.
Very. He's just a terrific footballer. Always courageous to a fault, and now just so calm and cool.
And I think you're with the skipper, Matty, down to you.
Yeah, got Trent here. Look, mate, it wasn't the best performance by Richmond tonight, but it's always good to get 4 points after your first game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so improved. Obviously, new coach, playing far greater structure footy now, and
mate, I think they'll surprise a few teams across the season. They were fantastic tonight. Their endeavour was good, their pressure was good, and execution was good.
I thought some of the younger players showed some signs tonight. I thought Corey Ellis did some good things. Menenju hit the scoreboard, and Rioli, some good pressure, a really good tackle there at one stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason Cause stood out was under pressure late in that quarter, and that's all you can ask of guys coming in and playing, their first full 10 or so games. That's what you expect of them, and I thought Kane Lambert took his game to another level again tonight. His critical contest stuff was inspiring.
What do you think you need to work on now? Next week you're back here against Collingwood, Friday night footy.
Yeah, I think we didn't really get our game up and going. I think early we were probably second to the ball a little bit, so we'll just do some work during the week, make sure that we're ready to go against a Collingwood team that's really impressed over pre-season.
How'd you see your own game tonight?
Very slow. I mean, it's good to get through the first one, Richo. Obviously, form is important, and I'll continue to try and improve every week.
Okay, thanks, Trent.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Thursday.